This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We must increase vaccinations among the unvaccinated with new vaccination requirements.
It's not going to work. We have other countries with much higher rates of vaccination, and they're seeing record surges of COVID because that's what viruses do.
Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated.
Them, their freedom. I want my freedom to live.
Rest in peace, Wheezy.
We are going to need the people to engage in age-old American tradition of simply saying, no, I'm not going to comply. Now, what are you going to do about it? It never stops. They want things to get worse because they want you to suffer so that they can grandstand on your suffering and push for even more control.
They have criminalized freedom. They've made getting sick illegal.
This isn't about COVID any more than the Patriot Act was about Al-Qaeda. It's about government asserting more control over your lives, your rights, your properties, and in this case, your bodily autonomy.
It has a lot of vaccinated people alarmed because of the power grab that's involved.
Enough is enough. We better change our tune and start resisting.
Government makes up less than 1% of the population. If even 5 or 10% of Americans simply refuse to comply, all of this goes away.
Absolutely, this is the hill worth dying on.
We haven't given the statutory authority to any agency to do this kind of thing.
There is no such thing as government power. There's only what we are willing to comply to.
We're in the tough stretch, and it could last for a while.
That's what this has always been about. It's never about what they say it is. It's about controlling you, and it ends when we decide to end it.
This BS is going to stop.
It's time for us to
There's
wake
only
up.
one way to fight back against this, and it's mass non-compliance.
This is the most important thing to fight against.
You can help stop this. You are the power.
There's nothing, not a single thing we're unable to do if we do it together.
Damn straight. Not a single thing. You got it right. What's up, guys? We're back up in this, and I am running on fumes at the moment, but we're gonna get through this together. There's lots of things happening in the world. Satanic panic is trending on Twitter, last I checked, and people are dying at Travis Scott shows and all sorts of crazy things that we're not supposed to talk about, but we're going to. We're going to get into it all. We're going to have some fun, and we're probably going to get canceled together. While we do that, until we... In the meantime, here's the intro. Guys, get down in the chats. Let's have some fun, and let's do this. Let's get weird.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do.
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
But ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that. I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves were possessing weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth. I remember that with Matthew Moses. We are still here.
We have to say yes to socialism.
No, tomorrow. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
That's right. It's a big, real big club, and you're not in it. Folks, none of us are in it. None of us are in it, but some people are, and we're going to talk about those people today. If you're new here, welcome to the show. This is The System is Down, where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, culture, all the things that trigger you and get your panties in a wad and your feathers in a twist. I don't know the sayings. I don't know what you kids are talking about these days, but all the stuff. Kill the music. That's enough of that shit. Travis.
Hello.
Travis is back, guys.
I'm back.
Travis
finally.
is up in here. Let me switch. Oh, Travis is back, you guys. Travis, how have you been? It's been like a week.
Yeah,
two
least
weeks.
2 weeks. Yes.
Yeah.
Been good, man.
How was your ween?
Fantastic.
Nice. Tell me more about it.
Explain what that is.
Halloween?
Oh, my ween.
Get your mind out of the gutter, sir.
It was good. I forgot we had Halloween, actually, so it was that good. I actually didn't do anything.
It was so good, I blacked out.
I took some of my kids trick-or-treating, and then that's
some
about
of them. I took like 7 or 8 of them, and the other ones I'm taking next year. We do like a trade-off thing.
Yep.
Nice.
It's fun stuff.
Cool.
Good.
So we are talking about some news today. We're going to get into all the crazy, spicy shit. But before we do that, I got to remind you guys about a couple things. Things like you guys in the Downers Club, our main sponsors. People like Mike Stonehouse, Lisa Debus, Cole, Dickie Walnuts, Representation Zero. I'm getting slower at this because they're getting faster. Jack Casey, Andrew Sitchling, Kyle Evans, Craig DaCosta, Davis Johnson, Mitchell Makowitz, Howie Snowden, Nathan Sipes, Trenton Campbell, Lucas Riley, Mary Rome. I should switch them and put some of the new ones at the end so that I'm more likely to see them because they go by real fast and I miss them.
You could just pre-record saying them and then speed it up real fast and just hit play, so it just like says them all real quick.
Yeah, but that's dumb.
Yeah, well, most things I say is.
Keep it on brand. But, yeah, if you want to get your name on that list and maybe get it read here, if you want to support this thing and get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content, bonus episodes of the show and all the after parties, the extended interviews, everything, talking about some really crazy conspiracy stuff with High Rez and what's his name, Jimmy Levy the other day in the bonus. And those of you who are in there, you know what it is. You know how fun it was. But if you want to get all that shit, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down and join the Downers Club today. Again, that's patreon.com/The System Is Down. This show is also sponsored by our shirt store. If you want to get some shirts, some sweet swag up in the shirt store, go to thesystemisdown.tv/store and you'll get some sweet shirts such as the Let's Go Brandon new classic. It's a fancy one. It's got Joe Biden's face on it. I wore it to the Dave Chappelle thing last night, so I may have gotten a couple compliments. But you can also get the Hail Meta shirt because Hail Meta, go to hailmeta.com for that one specifically, just because, I mean, you can get it. It just redirects to the store. But Hail Meta. Also, the Forever Purge. I survived the Forever Purge, and all I got was this spicy flu and the Soylent 19, the vaccine is people shirt, because as we all know, the vaccine is people. Thesystemisdown.tv/store. Go get it. We're also sponsored by Jack Casey, and it's the Royal Green. Yes, that's what I normally talk about, but that's just because I don't have a new overlay for his new book. Yes, he has another new book that he's working on, and I think I'm going to read it, actually. It's a shorter one, and it's more up in like my genre of interest, so I'm probably going to read it, and we might be working together on some stuff. Jack Casey's an awesome dude. I talk to him often, and he's got the balls to support the show, and he's a really great guy. So check him out, check out all of his stuff, and be on the lookout for his new one, which I think is going to be called VWV. I'm not sure if that's the official title yet, but check that all out at theroyalgreen.com. And oh, my Kratom. It's back. It's back. I was out of it last week, but it's back now. It's here. It just came in the mail today or yesterday or something. I don't know. I was gone yesterday. But it's here, and we're going to get back into that shit. Freeounceofkratom.com if you want to try it. The government is currently trying to make this stuff illegal, claiming that it has zero benefits to humanity, and it's just as bad and awful as heroin. But it's better because people don't die from it.
Not yet.
I mean,
it actually has no one at all.
I don't think so. I mean you can fact check me on it, but I mean, it's basically as evil as caffeine, but it's more natural, and it's not heroin. I'm talking about Kratom.
Oh.
Yeah. Heroin's not that big of a deal. No, I'm not pushing drugs on kids like Big Bird is. But yeah, who cares? Whatever. Get your free ounce of Kratom at freeounceofkratom.com, and also they now have their Delta 8 THC back in stock because so the legal stuff is currently on hiatus, I believe. I don't know all the details, but I read got a message from John Bush earlier today from my Brave Botanicals saying that Delta 8 is now available again. So get that. You can get 5% off your entire order with the promo code TSID, and let them know that we sent ya. Now, there's some Crazy shit going on. Crazy shit. Travis,
what's up?
You know of anything crazy that's going on in the world today? And if you say Travis Scott, I'll kick you in the face because we're not there yet. You know that's the last story we're talking about today. We're burying the lead.
I'd say life itself is crazy these days, so there's a lot going on every single day. Yep.
Amen. Preach it, sister. Can you tell people where they can find you real quick in case I forget to give you that opportunity?
I don't care. But
that's true.
No, if you guys want to hit me up or talk to me or see anything that I do besides talk nonsense with Dan, you can go to charmediagroup.com. It's still in the process of being built, but our Facebook is up and running, and you can get me there as well. So facebook.com/charmediagroupqc.
Char Media. Charmarma Media.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, Travis, welcome back, and thanks for being here.
Of course.
What'd you do on your vacation last week?
I just stayed home, man. Didn't do much.
Oh, neat. Yep. So you're like, I can't come in. I'm going to be real busy staying home and commenting on the live stream while you're having it.
No, I actually ended up having my daughter stayed with me, and we hung out. So I couldn't come, but I could get on my phone and check out the comments for a little bit, and dabble in that little conversation a little bit.
I gotcha.
Yes.
I gotcha. It looks like people are arguing in the comments
Are they?
about important things like who the next libertarian president of the United States should be. Who cares? We'll talk about that next year, maybe. It's coming, and then we won't be able to talk about anything other than that. So just cool your jets, guys. We got to talk about some more fun shit. By the way, went to Dave Chappelle last night.
That's exciting.
It was very interesting. We're not going to get into it here. I had initially planned on doing this, talking about it, because I didn't think there would be so much to cover. But there's definitely at least an entire episode's worth of stuff that I would like to break down on the Dave Chappelle documentary screening. It was cool. I think there was such. The comedy of Dave Chappelle was so amazing.
Yes.
Jeff Ross was there, and he opened up and he roasted some people, and he was Jeff Ross, so it was pretty good. And there was another guy who was pretty good as well. In this documentary, we're gonna talk about it. Let me just say, it's not all good. It's really not all good, and I'm gonna do a solo episode on that, just breaking that all down, everything that happened.
Maybe that's the real reason why they don't want to put it out there, because it just sucks.
No, it's a well-made documentary.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to save it.
Fair.
No spoilers here, because there's some really important things that I want to dig into on that. And some stuff that happened before the show and around the show and everything. Oh, I went to Josh Smith's house yesterday. Travis, you cut the episode.
Did.
There. I shot some video for him. He lives in the Des Moines area, so I was like, hey, we've been talking about doing this video for a while, so it just worked out nicely, and I crashed with his lovely family, and they're awesome. And you should check out Break the Cycle, Josh Smith's show. Now, maybe don't start with yesterday's episode, because it wasn't like his crowning achievement in podcasting, that's for sure. We were just chilling, partying on
a laid back
couch.
show.
Oh yeah, it was real laid back, let's say. But we're going to get straight into the news here and roast away at watching the world burn and all the crazy shit that's going on. But as you guys know, we like to start out with the positive news, the really good news, the thing to set the tone, so we can pull the rug out from under you and make you sadder when we get into the real stuff. The good news, Travis, have you heard about? Do you know what the movie Sister Act is?
Yeah, man, with Whoopi Goldberg.
Uh-huh.
Watched it all the time when I was little.
You know they're making a third one now?
I thought they already had a third one.
No, there's two. There's not a third one yet.
Is it with Whoopi?
It's with Whoopi.
Holy.
And directing it. That's the real good news.
Oh.
Everybody was asking for it. Tyler fucking Perry.
Man, I'm excited about this one.
Oh yeah, Medea is gonna show up in a
Hello?
nun outfit.
What are you doing?
Like,
it's crazy.
So
Tyler Perry, why though?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, we'll give it a chance, I guess.
No. So the initial, I don't remember the first two all that well. I remember really loving the first one and liking the second one, and it's been 20 years or something, and we're talking about Sister Act 3 now, and it's like a cult classic that people love, and anytime those things are remade, it never really goes well, and the person to redo it is the cheesiest director that has ever existed in cinema, Tyler Perry, aside from Tommy Wiseau of The Room.
Yeah, that's
odd. Yeah, it's a very stupid choice, in my opinion. I'm open to, seeing what he has to do, but I'm not thrilled on the idea of a Sister Act 3 anyway. And Sister Act 3 with Tyler Perry is making me sad all over my body. Travis, you got any thoughts on this?
Not really. I mean, the title speaks for itself.
It's every bit as bad as you think. So moving right along, did you hear about Chris Pratt? He's gotten into some hot water lately.
No, I actually haven't.
Yeah, Chris Pratt got into some hot water for basically waking up in the morning and saying, "I love my wife and my child, and they're healthy."
Oh.
And people are like, "Fuck you."
Why?
Because that's the internet.
Cancel him. Fuck it.
Yeah, basically. We're going to watch a bit of this. I don't know if we'll get all the way through it because who cares? This is a gigantic nothing burger if you haven't figured it out. But this was going around on Twitter the other day, people trying to shame Chris Pratt for loving his wife.
Chris Pratt has seemingly addressed the backlash over his recent tribute to wife Katherine Schwarzenegger. The movie's superstar posted a series of Instagram stories on Friday in which he admitted having gone to bed, quote, upset and depressed, and waking up, quote, feeling crappy. Chris's post comes after social media users took issue with him praising Katherine and their, quote, gorgeous, healthy daughter, Lila, on Instagram earlier this week, which some interpreted as an insult to his ex-wife, Anna Faris, and their now 9-year-old son, Jack, who was born premature and with health issues.
I think that's his ex-wife there. Yeah.
I did not know he was married to her. That's their son?
He used to be. That's their son, and he's apparently a special needs child. So the internet took Chris Pratt waking up and saying, I love my wife, new child, healthy child, new wife. They took him saying, I love my wife and our wonderful healthy boy, or healthy child, I don't know. And they're like, well, that's obviously, he's just bashing on his ex-wife and his special child.
Man.
Like, okay.
Wow.
Yep. That's what we're doing now. Which people don't seem to have, turned on Chris Pratt ever since he started talking about Christianity and stuff like that.
Didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah, he's been getting into that type of stuff online, and people seem big mad over it just because he can't do that anymore.
Can't do anything anymore.
No. There's only one religion, and it is Meta, and it includes COVID, obviously.
Of course.
The religion of COVID and wokeness. That's all the time I'm going to give to this story, because this isn't a story. This is a nothing, and this is the internet trying to get us all angry for no reason at all. Now, did you hear about the KanYE West interview that happened last week, Travis?
No, and I've been way out of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, KanYE West doesn't do very many interviews. He kind of just came out of the closet. Not in a gay way. No, hashtag no homo. He came out like he hadn't done an interview in like a year or so, and he came out and did this interview that was like 3 hours long, and I watched the whole thing. It was great. Mm-hmm. The dude is hilarious, and he's got some good jokes in there. But he had some jabs at Kamala Harris. He had some jabs at SNL for them saying he says that SNL made. Did you know that Kim Kardashian and KanYE West were together?
Yes. I
did you know that they're getting a divorce?
Yeah, I thought they were getting married again then.
No,
that's not the thing. Okay.
No, but yeah, there's lots of stuff to this, but we're not going to spend a bunch of time on it. But from independent.co.uk, so you know it's legit, KanYE West takes aim at Kamala Harris. We ain't seen her since the election, he said. Kamala Harris, KanYE West said.
Well, really
what is she doing?
I mean, he's got a point, right?
Yeah. What has she done? I don't know, other than the creepy NASA video that was where she hired child actors to pretend to not hate her. Yeah. In the same interview, he also said he still supports Donald Trump. Now, that is in the headline here, saying he still supports Donald Trump. But if you go down and you look at this, he also changed his name to Ye. Just Ye.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Important stuff.
Yes.
Ye, the rapper formerly known as KanYE West, has taken aim at U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris in a new interview. The artist made the comments in a recent wide-ranging interview on blah, 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 some podcast, Drink Champs podcast. Pusha T voted Democrat, voted for Kamala. We ain't seen her since the election either. Then he quipped, they got 94% of the black female vote. You would have thought Drake was running. So he's saying like clearly he's kind of hinting at this is, I don't know, either propaganda or it is fake or something like that, because he's saying You would think that Drake was running, but it's Joe fucking Biden, the oldest man in the world. But they say that he said he supported Donald Trump, and I haven't found where he says he's still supporting Donald Trump. He said, "I've still got a red hat on today. I'll let you know that. I'll let y'all know that I might not get it. I might not get it on." And they put in at the moment, but I'll let y'all know where I stand. So I guess that's kind of saying he supports Donald Trump, but who cares? Donald Trump's not even in the White House, or in anything
kind of
really.
Out of the picture, quite.
Well, I mean, he is because they don't let him on anything at all. But
give it time.
I mean, Kanye West ran against Donald Trump in the end.
I thought he was gonna actually do something with that, though.
I mean, it was the birthday party. How much do you think? How much traction would that get?
That's very true.
I don't know. It's interesting, and I've got this clip from. I just put down a timestamp. This is toward the end. To my understanding, nobody's talking about this part of the show where Kanye West has this bit at the end where he's talking about. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. We're gonna watch it together, so let's watch it. Okay.
It'd be something funny. It's like people. It hurt those people who love me.
Oh yeah.
Like Charlemagne loved me, but he had to, put Biden on the thing. And think about this happened when Biden. Remember he said, Charlemagne, if you didn't vote for me, then you're not black. Well, that showed you how comfortable he was and how much they talked before that. Mm-hmm. And you know what must have happened afterwards? They got him.
He's got a good point that I didn't really think of when the Charlemagne thing when Joe Biden was on there and he told him, if you have trouble voting for me or between me and Trump, then you ain't black.
I don't remember that at all.
He said that to a black man. Old white Joe Biden said,
"Well, that makes sense.
If you're having to decide between me and Trump, then you're not black." So that pushed a lot of buttons. And
I bet.
But the strangest part is that Charlemagne didn't even really respond. They just go on with the conversation, like, "Oh yeah." So they're what Kanye West is pointing out here is these people are friends, obviously. To some degree, they had a conversation before this, and whether or not they're close friends or whatever. For him to give Joe Biden no pushback on an old white racist dude saying you're not black if you don't vote for me, that either says that Charlemagne is part of this system that is manipulating the black community into believing that you have to vote Democrat, or they're friends and this is all staged. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, and good on Kanye West for pointing it out. We'll go on a bit.
Y'all niggas done fucked up.
Whoops.
I ain't supposed to be showing that y'all like that.
Right.
That y'all like that. That y'all like that. John Legend, Sean. This is some 1984, bro. This is mind control. This population control. Rise up, man. Look inside of you, man.
So we go.
So yeah, interesting stuff there. Travis, you got any thoughts on that? You got any thoughts on anything, Travis?
I'm pretty laid back person, man. Just kind of think to myself.
That's your only response to every time I ask you, what are your thoughts? Nah.
One of these days I will open up and you'll tell me to shut up. I promise.
Travis goes on a tirade for 4 hours. I'm just let the tape roll, I guess, man. He's finally talking. We can cut it up and disperse it into other episodes and make it sound like he contributes to this thing. Yeah, no, it's interesting, and these people kind of showing their hand that they're all working together for the same goal, which is politics. It's fucking politics. Now, have you heard the phrase "Let's go, Brandon"? Travis?
Yeah. I have heard that one.
Yeah,
I've been seeing on bumper stickers now in cars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting up there.
Well, that's dangerous. You shouldn't use that slogan because it's bad and racist.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the last
week's
episode. You weren't there, so don't give me that shit. I did. Me and Schweppy did.
Yes.
But yeah, it's if there was some journalist who was basically trying to say, if you use this slogan, you know who else used code for things? The Nazis, the KKK, this,
yes.
that. It's like, you know who else wore pants? Which was the best response comment that I saw. But yeah, that there was that. But now even NASCAR is coming out to condemn Let's Go Brandon. Did you hear about this?
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, NASCAR
Inform me.
condemns phrase Let's Go Brandon, threatens to sue anyone producing merch containing its logos.
What?
Well, here's the thing. They kind of can because they're on these ones they're using the NASCAR logo.
Okay.
But there is parody law. Like people can make parody shirts of like a Mountain Dew logo, but it's something's altered so it says something else and it's making fun. That's how SNL even exists, is because there's a law that says if you're deliberately making fun of a thing or like commenting on a thing or trying to make a point about a thing, it's fine to use their branding in certain ways. You just can't you can't go out and make NASCAR shirts and sell them as NASCAR shirts. But clearly this is a parody. So to the
kind of how you did with the anti-news with CNN.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, sorry.
That's
called you out.
That's mine. And I don't even use it anymore, so shut up. Well, I guess I do. Antinewslive.com. Check it out. But yeah, this is interesting, and I think it's funny because who do you think watches NASCAR more? Do you think it's Democrats or Republicans? I'm just curious.
It's funny. I don't know. If I was to judge and be that type of person, I would definitely put my whole life on Republicans.
Well, yeah. Why? I don't understand why NASCAR would say anything about this. This has nothing to do with them.
That's true.
They just had a thing happen at their thing, and now people are saying that thing and selling that thing, and they're saying, "Hey, we condemn this. This is bad." Like, why would you shoot yourself in the foot?
It's silly.
Was somebody going after NASCAR and saying, "You better make them stop saying that"? Like,
it's so silly to me because literally, if you don't know what it really means, and they're boycotting Let's Go Brandon, it's just random.
If your son's named
what?
If your son is named Brandon, you better not cheer him on ever because you're probably a Nazi.
Exactly. Again, they're pretty much just saying you should just go back to saying "fuck Joe Biden" because that was more acceptable.
Right. Yeah. It's like, fine. We don't have to speak in code anymore if you don't want to. Fuck Joe Biden was working just fine, which Let's Go Brandon is way better, though, because of... And this is what drives them so crazy. This is what drives the establishment crazy, and the left, the right, anybody who's like in positions of power, they hate comedy. They hate when somebody pokes fun at it, especially like this, where they can't really do anything about it. They can't stop it because it is just a nothing phrase that is code for fuck Joe Biden. Yeah. And it sprouted organically from this reporter that was trying to cover their asses and keep from getting in trouble for having people shout the F word in the back of their live whatever broadcast. And it's great. It's a beautiful thing, and I love it. And you don't have to like Trump to hate Biden. It's all good. Oh, there was an attempted "Let's Go Brandon" chant last night too.
Oh,
yeah.
Were you part of it? Did you speak up?
No, I was around definitely some leftists that like booed when he talked about guns for a second and shit like that, like real hardcore crazies. And they were drunk. They were real drunk. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And like, if there were other people in the area, I might have, but it only lasted for like a second because, which they did ask that everybody be quiet and don't talk or chant or yell out things or whatever. Of course. Obviously, you're not gonna stop people when they're drunk, but yeah, there was a decent amount. It just came up. There was maybe like 3 or 4 "Let's Go Brandons," then it died out, and so. If it had continued, I certainly, even with the people there, I would have joined in. But I'm not going to be the one guy with a bunch of people around me being like, "Let's go Brandon." Like I was wearing a "Let's Go Brandon" shirt. I wore the shirt to the thing. I'm like, I've made my point, guys. Like I don't need to get beat up here. But anyway,
getting up in the news.
Yeah, yep. You got it. You got any other thoughts on that, Travis? No. Dare I ask?
No, we'll just keep it there.
Cool. You ever hear about Cher?
The singer?
Yeah,
the one that doesn't age ever.
Yeah, that's just the baby's blood, bro.
Yes, I know her.
Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about Cher a bit from Breitbart.com, so you know it's legit. Cher freaks after Youngkin election, which it doesn't matter. There was an election where a dude beat a Republican guy beat a Democratic guy in this election, and they were shocked that it happened, and that's basically it.
Isn't that like?
That's politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But of course that proves that it's a racist country that we're living in. And
Whites only club.
Yeah. Yep. So Cher freaks out or freaks after Youngkin election. GOP are Nazis. She just went straight for it. They're Nazis. They will make America a whites only club. Now, I am curious. I've been accused of being like a MAGA show or a Trump supporting show just because I don't like the leftist things that are happening and I don't like Biden. I also don't like the rightist things that are happening either, just to be clear. But yeah, if I have any of these evil white supremacists listening to the show, which are mostly legend and folklore, I believe, at this point, but if any white supremacists are listening to this show, contact me. I mean, fuck you, first of all, but also contact me. I want to know. I want to know if you are. I won't call you out. I won't expose you or anything. I just want to know. I'll let you guys know how many people wrote in to let me know about their white supremacy next week because, this is a white supremacy country. It shouldn't be that hard to find a couple of them, but I have yet to meet any at all. If you are a white supremacist, please contact me. That'll go well. Clip that one, guys. Great. Anyway, yeah, left-wing pop star Cher posted an unhinged all-caps tweet on Tuesday night warning that if Republicans take power, it'll, quote, have you seen the way this woman tweets? It's like all of her stuff is like all caps and like a million emojis and just nonsense. She's like drunk in rage with power.
I feel like it's not her doing it, to be honest.
I think it is because
Really?
she's kind of she seems pretty unhinged on the political stuff in general.
Really?
But she says, total power. It's whites only club and BLM, LGBT, Jews, Asians, minorities are in something style peril. I'm not sure. I should probably know what flag that is.
It looks like I don't know.
Probably somebody who's been attacked by somebody over racist stuff or something. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to
I know that. I just
be
can't think of
stupid. I just am stupid. Quote, held my tongue long enough, but F it. Do Dems need a house to fall on their sitters? What? On their sisters? For they see what's coming.
Nazis.
Man, she's
Germany.
insane.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. And if the Nazis are coming, do you think they're the ones that are saying, please don't force us to be vaccinated?
No.
Do you think the Nazis were the ones being cast out of society for not taking experimental medical procedures?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Nazis that were
They were doing that.
doing that. Yeah. Cher said, just as Glenn Youngkin was being declared winner over Democrat Terry McAuliffe, that's what it is, in the Virginia governor election, held my tongue long enough. Oh, we read this one. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, yeah, this one's crazy. Another tweet, Joe works tirelessly, all in caps still, because why not? Fuck it. Joe works tirelessly to work with Kong. And the reason why I'm reading so slow is not just because
Congress?
I'm not very good at reading. It's because this woman writes like a fucking retard. To work with Kong and pass bills to help everyday Americans. And he's hit from Dems on right and left. They cause gridlock while GOP sit and plan how to pick our bones clean if we fail. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Much less what are you talking about? GOP are Nazis in lockstep. It's a difference between democracy and dictatorship. So the Republicans are Nazis and dictators just because a guy won. Because a guy won. I don't know. Maybe give us a little bit more info. I don't know.
Weird.
Cher is a psychopath. That's what I'm saying here. That's the point I'm trying
Never
to
knew
make.
that. I just thought she sang songs. That's it.
Oh, Jason Drake said it's a German flag. Yeah, I probably should have known that since with a last name like mine.
That's why I said Nazis.
Probably got some German in my blood there. But that's how little dedication I have to the Nazi party. I don't even know what the German flag looks like. Now, guys, be in the comments. Get up in the comments, and we'll try and read as many of them as we can. But we are going to keep going with some stuff because it's insane. Travis, did you hear about Fartgate?
I don't think so.
Did you hear about Fartgate? It was all over Twitter. It wasn't really in the news, I noticed, but Fartgate. Joe Biden.
Oh, I did. The one where he's like standing there in his
No.
pants? Oh, no, not
That was the Poopgate.
Damn.
I mean, these are the headlines with such presidents as Joe Biden, Poopgate and Fartgate.
Damn, we're getting good at these.
Now, I saw this going on. Basically, the story is, and we'll talk about it a bit, but the story is Joe Biden was meeting with some people, and he farted really loudly and longly. And the lady that was there keeps talking about it. And that's the story. Now, we don't have video evidence.
Okay.
I think it's still an anonymous reporter that's saying, like the last I don't know about this particular article if we have verified evidence of the anonymous source from the anonymous source that let us all know that Joe Biden passed wind. Yeah.
Flatulate. What is it? The scientific term?
Flatulence.
Yes.
So yeah, I think this is really stupid, and we're going to talk about it a tiny bit, but we're not going to spend a bunch. Like, I want to spend an entire episode talking about just this, just cause it's fun and funny. But doing that makes us the same as the people who are like, Donald Trump had a spelling error in his latest tweet, so obviously he's a Nazi. We're not doing that. If there's video evidence of Joe Biden's fart, if there's audio evidence of Joe Biden's fart, even if it's fake, we'll give this more time. But this is currently this is such nothing. We don't need a conspiracy every time Joe Biden has a bowel movement. But it is fun, and we're going to talk about it now. Something that makes me even more suspicious is I looked up on DuckDuckGo. I typed in Biden Fartgate, and just to find an article to talk about, and I noticed that you see here like New York Post commented on it a little bit, but not. I don't think CNN did. There's no like big news outlets. I don't think. The main one that I found like this. Okay, so I found MSN.com, and I was like, okay, so that's kind of legit. They have some. They do some news things.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on this until I clicked on the MSN one to try and see what they had to say about it. And here's what I got. Wait, no. Yes. Hold on. Here, let me just click on it again. Here's what comes up.
Oops.
This page is gone.
It's gone.
So what that means is MSN did talk about Fartgate at one point, and now they've taken it down, which makes me even more suspicious as to like... I shouldn't have conspiracy antenna going up for Joe Biden farting. But when you put up the article and it comes up in the top searches and then you remove it,
it's kind of odd.
Seems like something's up there.
Smells fishy.
Yes. So New York Post did talk about it. NYPost.com, so you know it's legit. Camila Parker Bowles, I think is how you pronounce that, not Bowles, can't stop talking about Joe Biden's long fart.
What the hell?
Yeah, this is news. President Biden let out a long, loud fart while speaking with the Duchess of Cornwall at the COP26 summit. She hasn't stopped talking about. That's in quotes. The 78-year-old's long fart, in quotes, long fart. Long. It has been reported. The pair were making small talk at the global climate change gathering, which is funny. I wonder if Joe Biden's fart has anything to do with climate change. They do say that cow farts. If you read the Green New Deal, they're concerned about cow fart emissions ruining our climate, killing the earth. So we're going to have to kill off animals so we can save nature, guys.
How often does this man fart? He could be putting in pretty good damage into our climate. So
yeah, we should have like a meter on him, keeping track of that, taxing him every time he farts.
he should be definitely.
We could solve the national debt problem right now if we just taxed Joe Biden for every bowel movement he has on stage alone. Quote: "It was long and loud and impossible to ignore," the source told the outlet. So yeah, still don't know who this source is. But they say it was a big fart, and this person can't stop talking about it. And it's an anonymous source. So I'm calling this nothing news.
Nothing.
This is absolutely nothing, and I don't want to make the same mistake of I don't like this president, so I'm going to spend all my time talking about his bowel movements or his bad tweets. So we're going to move on. Unless you have anything else on Fartgate, Travis. You got anything else on Fartgate?
Of
course not.
I do not.
Of course not. Do you know who Jesse Ventura is? Jesse the Body? The Body Ventura? He was like a professional wrestler at one point, I believe.
No.
I don't know that much about the guy, but he was a libertarian. Or he is, I believe. He still claims to be a libertarian. He's been on like Lines of Liberty and stuff like that on these different shows. Now, he came out and went full retard this week, and that's unfortunate. So here's this. And it's not going to play because it's Twitter. So we're going to have to refresh because it's Twitter.
Tweet it.
I want you to know that right now. I don't even want to get into my feelings on him. To me, January 6th was an attempted coup d'etat.
Really?
Absolutely. Look at what they're learning now.
Yeah.
They had the format all laid out.
Shady
you know where he
contractors
sits and
could help
tells
set it up.
Hillary Clinton lock her up?
Yeah.
There's the guy that belongs in jail.
For saying lock Hillary Clinton up for the bad, which I think that Donald Trump should be in prison for war crimes as well. But saying we should lock up, and I don't even think he ever really said it when he was president. He mostly just said it like when he was running. Like he never did anything about it. He never went after Hillary Clinton. He never even really brought it up again. So acting like that's terrorism right there. Like that guy should be in jail for saying we should lock Hillary Clinton up for things that she has been verified to have done, like Russiagate. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Yes. It seems like pretty exposed now that she played a very large part in pushing this completely fake narrative. But whatever. Let's do some more.
Donald Trump. He tried to overthrow our country. He defied the Constitution.
Do you think
false? And I'm not going to rant about it. You guys know that is just false. I didn't vote for him. Not going to vote for him. Don't like him. That's still fucking not true.
What is his fact spawn then? Why does he say that?
I don't know.
Okay.
The same reason CNN says it, because they don't like Trump, and that's it.
Okay.
They want to be in the good graces of the cult.
Constitution.
Of that cult, not that cult. Different cults.
Right.
That's the document I live by. If you don't like it, change it. But you got to have a set of rules.
You got to have a set of rules.
This guy's voice, man.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
He broke the rules.
Yeah.
He should never be allowed to run again.
The rules.
And
the rules.
As far as I'm concerned, he belongs in jail.
He belongs in jail.
People died that day.
Right.
On an insurrection to overturn our government.
Right.
It was an insurrection to overturn our government, and they stayed within the velvet ropes, mostly.
Yes. This guy's serious, though. He
means it.
Really proud of that.
He's convinced.
It's that simple, and I don't care how these Republicans want to butter the bread. And you know what part angered me the most?
What is it?
Tell me.
When I saw a Confederate flag carried through my Capitol. You know what I call the Republicans now? The Taliban. They're the American Taliban, baby.
Old man yells at cloud. Travis, have you ever seen Tales from the Crypt?
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Well, look what they're doing in Texas.
Yeah. What?
Oh.
This is the thing from Tales from the Crypt, like 5 years before that show started airing.
There's women's rights.
Yeah.
The Taliban have got them down there. You know, they're taking away people's right to vote.
Huh.
Did you know it's
what does that have to do with Donald Trump?
In Texas
because Donald Trump's taking away people's right to vote by telling them to vote.
Vote?
Yeah, that's insane.
And now this latest thing. What was the latest thing that
guy,
crazy governor? Oh, he's now over. The governor is now overruling mask mandates.
Yeah.
In other words, no one in Texas can make you wear a mask.
Oh, no.
By the way, I love the mask.
Right.
You know why?
It just keeps going. It's like if I was playing a character that was in the COVID cult, I would say all these things in exactly this order, and it would be such an obvious joke because how can you be so wrong on so many things in one breath? It's impressive.
I wrote an op-ed piece. It gave me freedom.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can go in the store now.
Yeah.
Nobody bothers me, and if I keep my mouth shut, nobody does, and I don't have to talk to people that I probably didn't want to talk to anyway.
So being forced to wear a mask gave Jesse Ventura, libertarian, freedom. Which I think what he's going for is I'm a celebrity and people recognize me, and I like that the freedom of people not recognizing me out in public.
Yeah, you could just wear a...
You can do that, though.
Yeah, you could just do that anyway, man.
You could, like... I mean, I'm not usually one to push for like plastic surgery or operations or anything, but there's a lot of work that could be done there. You got you're a nice big old fat canvas that with that massive head. You've got a lot of work that could be done there if you don't want to be recognized.
Start
and
by
you
talking
could
differently.
You could go the Michael Jackson route and fake your own death and move to Africa or whatever,
or the moon,
or the moon.
Yeah.
I got people criticizing me now saying I've sold out because I got vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
What a crock of crap. I sold out because I want to live. Yeah. And I look at the statistics.
I sold out because I want to. So they're saying you're a sellout. You're like, that's a bunch of crap. I sold out. Wait, is it a crock of crap or did you sell out? Because you said it's a crock of crap that they're saying you sold out, but you're saying I sold out and giving the reason why you sold out. It doesn't change. Like, even if you have a really good excuse for selling out, you sold out, bud.
99% of the vaccine
Wait.
people live.
By getting sold out, it means you receive some money, some type of payment, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
typically,
did he get?
He's
paid?
probably making a lot more money being a part of this than being against. I don't know, man. This dude was like, to my understanding, I was never super familiar with him, but he was like a libertarian. He was like a conspiracy guy and all that. Like, he probably could make a hell of a lot more money if he went the other route, the sane route, and went with the crazy conspiracy shit.
That's not fun though.
Yeah.
And only 1% die. I'm going on the 99 side, people.
Wow, this guy's great.
Yeah. He is. He's fantastic. He's the wokest among us, and he's the future. You got any other thoughts on that there?
Kind of. This might be a little off topic, but he brought up the mask thing. Yesterday, I went to go eat food at a restaurant in Illinois.
Yeah.
I walked in, and usually the stupid rule is you wear a mask and you sit down and take it off to eat.
Yeah.
Because COVID doesn't travel.
COVID floats around above the tables, but it can't get you if you're sitting.
Exactly. I walk into this restaurant with my girlfriend, and we're going to eat some tacos. And while we're walking in, we take like 3 steps in there, and they're like, you got to have a mask on before you come in here. You can't have tacos, man! So keep in mind, I reached in my pocket of my coat to pull out a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my girlfriend didn't have one on her. It's in the car. So
he's got a gun! He's reaching in his pocket.
So I was like, it's okay. We're going to sit down and eat in here. And he's like, you got to put the mask on if you're walking to the table. And I'm like,
holy shit.
Okay. And then I looked at my girlfriend, and she was like, I don't have a mask. It's in my car. I'm like, oh, let's go get it. And we turn around to go back. He's like, well, sorry, but you have to have a mask. And I'm like, no, like, what the hell? It makes no sense.
This is in Illinois.
Yeah. The first time I've ever experienced by it. I go to anywhere with no mask on, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't ever wear it unless I have to, as in work. I work in Iowa, and I have to because it's my job, my employer.
Bullshit.
But, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I've never seen anybody get so upset. Like, he was literally attacking and yelling at us before we even got to do anything.
Did you... I hate to ask because I know what the answer is. You got a mask and you went back in and ate, didn't you?
Did not, actually.
Oh, good.
I decided to go somewhere else, which
Nice.
we found another place. It was delicious. Amazing food.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the delusion is real, and it's very impressive how these people go on their day-to-day lives yelling at strangers, kicking them out of their business in an economic crisis where people are having a hard time getting employees and making money and all that shit.
Dude, yeah.
But we're going to kick people out. Because for this 6 feet of standing that you're going to be doing, you're more of a danger to everyone around you than you are. And it's also funny, like when they were doing, I don't go into anywhere that much anymore, but I've had situations where they're like, you need a mask, and I don't know if I did or somebody else did it, but they like put their shirt over their nose or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's not good enough. What's the fucking difference? So I can go out and get a bandana that's thinner and wrap that around my face. That's the
So stupid.
approved tiny piece of cloth that molecules can go through, but not my shirt, not this thing.
Don't get it at all.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of COVID and craziness, we're talking about Mr. Fauci and Mr. Rand Paul once again because this smackdown happened, and I wasn't sure if we were going to get into this, but I was listening to it while I was getting ready today, and I was like, man. Yeah, there's a reason why that was in my notes, because this is pretty fun.
As Professor Kevin Esvelt of MIT has written, gain-of-function research looks like a gamble that civilization can't afford to risk. And yet here we are again, with you steadfast in your denials. Why does it matter? Because gain-of-function research with laboratory-created viruses not found in...
I understand why they put the text behind them, but it's so fucking weird. Like, this whole thing feels like a production from like the 70s. Like you've got that dork behind him with the glasses on and showing cards of quotes and things. I understand why they're doing it, and it's because our government doesn't have the technology that I have here on this show to put up overlays. But anyway,
sure. Could cause a pandemic even worse the next time.
Oh,
we're suffering today from one that has a mortality of approximately 1%. They're experimenting with viruses that have mortalities of between 15 and 50%. Yes, our civilization could be at risk from one of these viruses. Experiments that combine...
I can't take my eyes off the nerd. He looks so sad.
I don't want to fucking
so
be here.
sad to be there.
Viruses with known pandemic-causing viruses are incredibly risky. Experiments that combine unknown viruses with coronaviruses that have as much as 50% mortality could endanger civilization as we know it. And here you sit, unwilling to accept any responsibility for the current pandemic, and unwilling to take any steps to prevent gain-of-function research from
We're gonna jump
possibly
forward to
unleashing
Fauci.
an even more deadly.
I mean, it's basically the same kind of shit, but he's like, that you're still doing this, you're still lying about this, and calling Fauci out on the gain-of-function
Are
stuff.
you saying I have something to do with the COVID?
You are absolutely incorrect, sir. I did not create COVID in a lab.
I made it in my house.
Mr. Fauci, nobody's saying I did not create COVID in a lab. But Mr. Fauci, please do not interrupt me while I say the same thing over and over again.
Funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan.
Senator, with all due respect, I disagree with so many of the things that you've said. First of all, gain of function is a very nebulous term. We have spent,
Listen to this.
not us, but outside bodies, a considerable amount of effort to give a more precise definition to the type of research that is of concern that might lead to a dangerous situation. You are aware of that. That is called P3CO.
We're aware that you deleted gain-of-function from the NIH website.
Well, I can get back to that in a moment if we have time. But let's get back
to it. Let's table that. We'll circle back to it if we have time. Let me drag out this answer now so we don't get back to that. Yeah, from my understanding, they took it off the website, the gain of function, and I guess they changed the definition to something else completely. And so he's like, yes, we did not do gain of function research. That's not even a thing anymore, basically.
to the operating framework and guide rails of which we operate under. And you have ignored them. The guidelines are very, very clear that you have to be dealing with a pathogen that clearly is shown and very likely to be highly transmissible in an uncontrollable way in humans and to have a high degree of morbidity and mortality.
Speed this up
and
a
that
bit.
you do experiments to enhance that, hence the word EPPP, enhanced pathogens of pandemic.
So when
I can't even say it. I also like the words, or the word, he says the word EPPP. It's not a word, but doesn't even know how words work, and he's redefining them.
Took the virus
well, and I would love to finish.
SHC014 and combined it with WIV1 and caused a recombinant virus that doesn't exist in nature, and it made mice sicker, mice that had humanized cells. You're saying that that's not gain-of-function research?
According to the framework and guidelines.
So what you're doing is defining away gain-of-function. You're simply saying it doesn't exist because you changed the definition on the NIH website. This is terrible, and you're completely trying to escape the idea that we should do something about trying to prevent a pandemic from leaking from a lab. There's the preponderance of evidence now points towards this coming from the lab, and what you've done is change the definition on your website to try to cover your ass, basically. That's what you've done. You've changed the website to try to have a new definition that doesn't include the risky research.
Well, yeah, he's the son of Ron Paul. I mean, he's not nearly as good as Ron Paul, but at this point in time, like, you've got all of these senators, all these congressmen, everything, like, it's almost a 50% split, Republican and Democrat. How many other Republicans even do you hear pushing back on Fauci? It's just Rand Paul.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's going on. Until you admit that it's risky, we're not going to get anywhere. You have to admit that this research was risky. The NIH has now rebuked them. Your own agency has rebuked them. But the thing is you're still unwilling to admit that they gained in function when they say they became sicker.
Yes.
They gained in lethality. It's a new virus. That's not gain of function.
According to the definition that is currently operable.
Oh my God!
You know, Senator.
According to the definition we made up yesterday, it's not gain-of-function research.
Let's make it clear for the people who are listening. The current definition was done over a 2 to 3 year period by outside bodies, including the NSABB, 2 conferences by the National Academy of Science, Engineering, and
We've been
Medicine.
working on this new definition for 2 years. It just happened that we figured it out. We got it all figured out. This is it. It has nothing to do with the fact that we are currently being scrutinized for gain-of-function research.
On December 2014, March 2016, we commissioned external risk-benefit assessment, and then on January of 2017, the Office of Science and Technology Policy of the White House issued the current policy.
And coincidentally,
I have not
the
changed
definition
any
appeared
definition.
on the same day the NIH said that, yes, there was a gain of function in Wuhan, the same day the definition appeared, the new definition, to try to define away what's going on in Wuhan. Until you accept it, until you accept responsibility, we're not going to get anywhere close to trying to prevent another lab leak of this dangerous sort of experiment. You won't admit that it's dangerous, and for that lack of judgment, I think it's time that you resign.
Thank you,
Boom.
Paul. And I would like to give the time to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, well, there were so many things that are egregious misrepresentation here, Madam Chair, that I don't think I'd be able to refute all of them, but just...
Shocking. Shocking. I don't think I can respond to the things that he said because there are just so many and they're so bad. He said like 2 things. Rand Paul just said 2 things.
yeah.
He said, you changed the definition and you're full of shit, basically. You're like, oh, I can't wrap my brain around it. You're throwing so much information at me. I don't understand.
You're speaking too much truth.
Right.
For the listeners to hear for. You have said that I'm unwilling to take any responsibility for the current pandemic. I have no responsibility for the current pandemic.
Ooh.
The current pandemic, okay? Number 2, you said the
Current.
overwhelming amount of evidence indicates that's a lab leak.
So he's very, very much stressing, I'm in no way responsible for the current pandemic. Are you saying that you're responsible for other pandemics, Mr. Fauci?
Right. That's how you put it.
I know what you're trying to say, which is we definitely didn't do this, but it sure sounds like you're saying we definitely did all that, though.
I believe most card-carrying viral phylogenists and molecular virologists would disagree with you that it's much more likely, even though we leave open all possibilities, it's much more likely that this was a natural occurrence. Third, you say we can
tested 80,000 animals and no animals have been found with COVID.
Senator Paul, the time is...
80,000 animals that they've tested, trying to basically give animals COVID to see if they can get it, and animals can't, but we're supposed to believe that it came from a bat. You would think bats could get a thing that came from a bat.
Yeah, you think that would make sense.
I'm no science doctor, but I play one on TV.
I like how serious the guy is. Like, he's just like dominant. Like, he's very like...
He's done this so many times now. Like, we keep coming back to the same thing, and they're still not going to do anything about it, of course. But, yeah, he's like, we've had this conversation over and over again. You keep lying about it. Yeah. What can I say that I haven't already said? But Fauci is saying the same thing he's always said, too.
You made a statement just a moment ago that's completely incorrect, where you say we continue to support research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
He's shaking.
You proved it in August of last year.
You see his notebook shaking?
At the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
He's a little nervous.
In August of last year.
No, your statement says, quote, I wrote it down as you were writing. You continue to support research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
You were in committee a month ago and said you still trust the Chinese scientists and you still support the research over there. You said it a month ago
Senator
in committee.
Paul, I have allowed Dr. Fauci to respond. You've had your time.
Shut up, Murray.
If he's dishonest, he ought to be challenged.
Senator Paul, we will allow Dr. Fauci to respond after you've given accusations like that. Dr. Fauci.
Well, I don't have any more to say except to say that, as usual, and I have a great...
Stop interrupting me. Okay, go ahead. I don't have anything. I'm done.
...of respect for this body of the Senate, and it makes me very uncomfortable to have to say something, but he is egregiously incorrect in what he says. Thank you.
God forbid Dr. Fauci be uncomfortable.
History will figure that out on its own.
We will...
I like that. He's like, we're done here, but Rand Paul is just like, history will decide. Like, this is all coming out, you motherfucker. I mean, we kind of talked about it as we went along, but Travis, you got anything? Got anything for me there?
Nothing else to add to that. No, I like this our Senator Rand. It's Rand, right?
Rand,
not
like,
Ron.
Like you're
Rand,
running, or you did run at one point.
At one time, I
with
ran.
a D. Rand.
Oh, with a D.
Rand. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you remember this gal. She was the one who said things like, we need to keep things locked down, even though this is kind of blowing over, but we need to have that carrot on a stick, on the end of a stick, to convince people to get vaccinated. How will we convince them to get vaccinated if we don't make them wear masks and keep them locked down? So she's kind of a monster. Mm-hmm. That's been proven. And this is her latest. Her name, I always forget her name. Something Wen, I think. Oh,
Wang?
Yeah, Lena Wen.
Excuse me.
Lena Wen. Here's her latest, which won't play because it's Twitter. But here we go.
I think at some point, everyone is going to need a booster. We are learning...
She always does that, too. At the end of it,
yes.
We need a booster. Booster. It's like there's an M at the end of some of her words for no reason at all.
Can't be trusted.
Can't be trusted. Yep. Listen again.
I think at some point, everyone is going to need a booster. We
Booster.
are
Oh, I
learning
hear it
that
now.
immunity for the vaccines do wane over time. Thankfully, there's pretty good protection against severe disease. However, even the protection against severe disease also appears to wane. And so people who are older with chronic medical conditions should definitely get their booster now if they haven't already. Although I do think at some point we will see that the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are at least 3-dose vaccines. And that means
3.
At 3?
3 now. 3 doses. We got another one, guys.
What about the pills? Is that a thing still or no?
I'm
Or-
sure they're still working on it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into it in a while. But yeah, that's what we're doing now. 3rd booster, which about 6 months ago, saying on YouTube that boosters are coming was enough to get you banned.
Yeah, wow.
Saying boosters are coming was considered misleading information. And then like a week later, they're like, boosters. And then they're like, 2nd boosters. Now they're like, obviously, we're going to need a 3rd booster if you guys want to live normal lives. God, these people.
Crazy, man.
Psychopaths. Speaking of psychopaths, now we get into the thing that you guys actually clicked on this for an hour ago. And first, we got to talk about everybody's favorite kids show. You hear about Sesame Street?
I didn't until the other day. My girlfriend brought it up to me today, actually. She said something. I'm like, no way, that's not true. She's like, yeah, it totally is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We've got Brainwashing on Sesame Street now, and we'll just watch a few things here, and we'll talk as we go. Here we go.
Honestly, too, before you start this, I didn't know Sesame Street was still airing. Because every time I ever watch this, it seems like it's still stuck in the 80s, like the production and everything. So I'm like, oh, it's just a rerun.
Well, this clip, it says, is from 1972, so that's why it looks really old. But I know that I think they pulled it off of PBS, and it's on like HBO or something.
Oh, okay.
Which seems like a strange place for it. When I think HBO, I don't think kids content
Not at
all. Can you name another HBO series that's strictly for kids education?
Nope.
Game of Thrones. I don't know. I want to see like their banner that's like Game of Thrones, softcore porn,
Yeah,
and
right.
Sesame Street.
Come on, down at the store.
For decades, Sesame Street has
didn't know
been
you hit play.
helping kids
I thought that was you.
understand.
That's me. Come on down to the store.
All right.
No,
India
what's
has
happening?
logged 12,000
Oh God, what is that?
Something's going on down at the store.
For decades, Sesame Street has been helping kids understand complex topics that impact their world, including vaccines.
Don't wait. Vaccinate.
Over the weekend, Big Bird once again
They're gonna use that to be like, see, they've always been this bad, so
Right.
it's okay. It's like just because they did it in the 70s doesn't mean it's okay in the 20s.
What were they vaccinating back then?
Probably AIDS. I don't know.
pulled up the feathers to get a COVID-19 vaccine.
I've always said.
So yeah, we need to spend a little time on this. Big Bird was tweeting, I've got the COVID-19 vaccine today. My wing is feeling a little sore, but it'll give my body an extra protective boost that keeps me and others healthy. Interesting that Big Bird has a verified Twitter account, which means that is the real Big Bird. They verified it. I guess they probably looked at his driver's license or something to verify him. Big Bird is not a bird.
No.
You know that, right?
No, he's
like I think there's a dude in a costume, right? Something like that?
Yeah, it's an actor.
Yeah. Who's reading a script. An actor playing
Yeah, so
a
it could be-
giant
it
bird
could be anybody.
is giving your children on Twitter, which is an adult site, giving your children advice on the like there's so many creepy things about this, and it's like so let's set Twitter aside, like even if they're talking to kids on the show or something about which I don't know if the COVID thing specifically came up on the show itself. I think it's mostly on Twitter and CNN, but them talking about vaccines or something, or like telling kids you don't need to be scared of vaccines, that's one thing. But they're telling kids you should get this. They're basically telling children if your parents don't like the vaccine, they're wrong because Big Bird likes it and you should be getting the vaccine. They're telling kids that their parents are like, it's
very
evil,
culty,
evil.
I've always said to meet people where they are, and Big Bird is where the children are.
While U.S. Senator Ted Cruz chose to call the move propaganda,
Yep.
experts say the actions will help spark important conversations.
Feels good. Woo!
Yay.
I go to the dentist, so my teeth are healthy. I get my vaccine to protect myself and protect those around me, and so I can have more
Going to
freedom.
the dentist, cleaning your teeth is not really comparable to getting an experimental vaccination that has side effects.
It's terrifying.
How often do
Watch
you hear,
that.
like, if you look at the charts on dental, I don't know, dental, what's the word? Like side effects of getting your teeth cleaned at the dentist, I bet there's quite a bit fewer of those than there are for the COVID-19, no matter how few the COVID-19 one is.
In this age group, about 60% of kids have some fear of needles. So those range from minimum to very, very high.
I am so excited that kids are going to have the opportunity to get vaccinated and get protected.
Samantha Yamin has had a deep phobia of needles since she was 11. Wow. She hopes families take the time to enroll their children in the process.
This is a great opportunity.
Like, I wouldn't even have a problem, like I was saying, if they said something like, you know, this is going around and some people are choosing to get vaccinated and, you know, if your parents take you, like, you don't have anything to worry about. Like, I don't agree with that and I still don't like that, but that's like saying, you know, don't be afraid. You don't have to be afraid of needles or whatever. It's still a little culty brainwashing, but saying, you know, yay, I feel safe now because I got the vaccine and blah, blah, blah. It's
Why
creepy.
do people feel safe? I don't get that. What facts and theory that they have, like, to take a vaccine, like,
You
no,
can
now I feel
still
safe.
you can still contract COVID. You
Get
can
it.
still spread COVID. I'm not going to say it does nothing.
No, it doesn't do anything.
Shut up, Travis. And we're banned. Yeah, we're going to move on to the next one. I got a few things on this topic, and yeah, this is the CNN broadcast, basically the ABCs of COVID vaccines.
Okay.
Oh boy!
Hey there.
I've got COVID-19. Hey!
It's making me
I'm
nervous.
bleeding out of my vagina. Hooray!
Hi, everyone.
Hello there.
So good to see all of you.
Oh, it really is. But Elmo, why are you dressed? Is it like a clown? Oh, yes.
I'm trans now. Just want to get all these PSAs out there and let everybody know what's going on. Get your vaccine. And anyway.
It's kind of embarrassing. Elmo was having a virtual play date with Abby. Yeah, we were being clowns. It's a lot of fun, but, you know, it's kind of hard to move around in these big shoes.
I wonder how many people sit their kids down in front of CNN.
Right?
Like,
yeah, hey,
hey
kids.
Come find out how quickly the world's ending.
I can see that, Elmo, but I have to say it's wonderful to actually see all of you. It also sounds and looks like you and your families have been staying healthy.
That was so awkward.
Healthy, Dr. Sanjay. Look.
I was paying attention to the comments. Let me go back.
It also sounds and looks like you and your families have been staying healthy.
I mean, this
Read
is
the prompt.
acting. This is all scripted,
Read the prompt.
obviously. But yeah, that's Sanjay Gupta. He's the guy who was on Joe Rogan, got trounced, and he's now talking to other puppets like himself. Do you remember Guy Smiley from Sesame Street?
Maybe, actually.
Hold on.
I have
Hold
to
on.
see a picture of them.
Let me pull up a picture of him real quick. Guy Smiley, I think he was on Sesame Street.
Guy Smiley.
He's on one of the Muppetsy things.
Sounds familiar. At least I just need to see a visual.
Ah, shit. Sorry, guys. Hang in there. We're going to get back to it. But I have to make this comparison while I'm thinking of it. Guy Smiley.
Audio went out? Oh, wait, no, it's back on.
Oh.
Never
Okay.
mind. We're good.
So, let's try this. This is Guy Smiley.
Because today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look at him. That's fucking Sanjay Gupta right there.
That is crazy.
He was on Sesame Street long before this. Come on, close your mouth. So there's Guy Smiley, and where is he? Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. And Sanjay Gupta. Come on, man. Spit an image.
I have a way I've been staying healthy, Dr. Sanjay. Look. Oh, does Rosita have a boo-boo? Oh, no, Amita, this is from my COVID vaccine. My mommy and my papi took me to get it this morning.
Oh, Rosita, that's great. Getting the COVID vaccine is a great way to stay healthy.
This is so freaking creepy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
What the hell is
It's not even well scripted.
Not at all.
Well, it's like they're making it into a Sesame Street episode with bad acting and everything, but the bad actors are people who are supposed to be giving us, news and medical information, not playing with puppets like themselves. There's at least 4 puppets on the screen right now, and one of them's definitely Guy Smiley there in the corner.
See, my mommy and my papi said that it will help keep me, my friends, my neighbors, my abuela, all healthy.
Your parents are absolutely right. COVID vaccines are now available for children 5 years and older. And the more people who get them, the better we're going to be able to help stop
another
the
thing,
spread.
what makes the age group acceptable to get a vaccine that's not really been practiced on much?
I mean, I don't know.
So, like, if I'm 4, you can't get it because you're going to die. I don't get it, man.
I don't know what testing they're doing to bring them to the conclusion that it is safe for kids, but I'm not an expert, obviously, on any of this stuff, but this is creepy as shit. That's all I'm saying. This is, borderline satanic. This is tricking kids, which I guess if your parents are still showing you Sesame Street when it's on CNN, they probably agree with everything that's being said here anyway, so it's not that big of a risk of anything, but it's still creepy as hell. Shannon says, what?
Did you see what Shannon said?
Wasn't there a Sesame Street episode about parents using opioids? Yes, I did have that up. Like, there's, I don't have it here at the moment, but there's one where they're talking about, and even in that, there's one of the girl Muppets is like, yeah, my mom has this meeting or whatever. She's basically going to AA or Narcotics Anonymous or something, but they don't come out right and say that. They just say, oh, she's going to a meeting where they all have the same problem. She's unhealthy, and they're meeting in these groups, and they help each other and blah, blah, blah. So even in that, they're like being really gentle about it. They're not saying, my mom's a fucking drug addict junkie, and she's got to go to AA or whatever.
Right.
That's the way it should be done, helping kids understand, things that they're going to go through, but without like pushing medications on them, in my opinion.
COVID. And keep everyone healthy.
See, and in 3 weeks later, I have to go back to the doctors and get my second shot. And Kitty...
And 4 weeks later, I have to go back and get my 3rd shot. And then I have to take my pills daily at 1 p.m. and 8 a.m. and also 8 p.m.
Another thing about Sesame Street that kind of makes me weary is, like, have you noticed that they're like monsters or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And they have a different voice or accent, as in like when she talks, it's Spanish-ish.
Uh-huh. Where are you going with this, Travis? I don't like when they speak like them foreigners.
I'm just curious. Have they kept up with the times like nowadays, and do they have like different diversity going on in Sesame Street right now?
Like what?
You're gonna make me say it, aren't you?
I don't know what you're talking about, Travis.
I don't know. I'll just bring that up afterwards.
Tune in for the bonus, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
To find out which diversity Travis has a problem with being on Sesame Street. I have no idea. Probably. I don't know. I haven't watched Sesame Street in a hot minute.
Well, people are so woke.
Today.
The reason why I bring it up is people are woke about stupid stuff like that, but they're not with this. Like, if I had a kid and I was really in that type of group where I really cared about having diversity and having African Americans and Hispanics and all that stuff, I don't know. I just don't get why don't they attack stuff like that. Like, I don't know, whatever.
You're saying why don't they attack what?
Well, see,
why don't they attack? Just to clarify for the listeners, he's not saying why don't they attack Mexicans and African Americans. I'm pretty sure.
No. I mean, as in Sesame Street itself, like as a whole.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do or not. That's why
they have lots of people of diversity on there. They always have.
As in the characters, though? Like
the puppets are like yellow and pink and green. So, yeah, I think they have.
Fair.
I don't know. I can't think of a single Caucasian Muppet. But I don't know or care because they're
right. You shouldn't
puppets.
care. You shouldn't care. You really shouldn't. But you know what? Just give it.
No,
time.
You shouldn't care, Travis. Stop caring so much. So now we're gonna move to Ted Cruz got ridiculed for fighting with Big Bird over vaccines. He picked a fight with a Muppet.
What?
They're ridiculing Ted Cruz for having a problem with. They're basically like they would be ridiculing us. They're ridiculing him for basically saying the types of things we're saying right now, that this is creepy propaganda. I don't know. He's just he's a political figure that they can easily target. So the stupid thing is he's not arguing with Big Bird. He knows that Big Bird isn't real too.
Okay.
He knows that Big Bird's account is not run by a large bird. He knows that Big Bird is a product made by a corporation that is currently selling drugs to kids. He's arguing with them. I don't know how stupid these people are, but like, I don't care who the messenger is. I don't care if Lilo and Stitch come out and say it. I'm gonna say you guys are stupid, even though you're made up character. Like, just like when Joe Biden tweets. If I'm attacking a Joe Biden tweet, we all know I'm not attacking Joe Biden because Joe Biden doesn't tweet. He doesn't know how to use a computer. But I'm attacking whoever came up with this stupid tweet. I don't care who it is.
Fair.
I don't. Even if Joe Biden's in Big Bird, I don't give a shit.
Maybe it. Oh.
Shit.
That's it.
That's a great conspiracy. We'll have to dig into that sometime. Speaking of conspiracies, Travis, we're there.
We're there. We're finally there.
We're talking about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, do you know who Travis Scott is? Me neither. Other than
maybe
he makes bad music that people would kill for. Or die for.
Die for. That's the better way.
I mean, both. I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
people who died by being killed by the people around them
That's
in
true.
one way or another. So if you guys haven't heard, Travis Scott is, he's dating one of the Jenners or something. I'm pretty sure that's the only way he has fame. From what I've heard, like, this Travis Scott guy, I don't know anything about him. I couldn't tell you a song of his to save my life. But he's got, if you dig into his history, from what I hear, before he even got signed, like, he came out of nowhere, and it's because the label, like, the label or he did or somebody made a bunch of SoundCloud accounts, like fake SoundCloud accounts, to boost up his numbers and everything so that he would get signed to the label because they would see him as legit, and then they could mold him into this auto-tune nightmare that I guess goes around hailing Satan, basically, and having people die at a show while he croons and moans into auto-tune on stage. So that's what we're going to talk about now.
All right.
This guy. And we'll just watch. I've got a few things on this. I've got some news clips and stuff. Now, have you heard any of, like, we're going to get into the conspiracy stuff around it, but have you heard any of the conspiracies?
I've seen a few, like, TikToks or, like, whatever you call them, like little snippets of things, people talking about it and how, like, certain things, it was, like, written all over them, and all this poster and how the stage was set up and this tattoos and stuff on them.
Yeah, when I did that episode on Monday, I think, with Hi-Rez and Jimmy Levy. Yeah, it would have been Monday. When I did that, I asked them about it. And because he thinks that there's, like, Satanism, cultish, occult stuff worked into music, and he's on that train. I pretty much am as well, for what it's worth. But I didn't know anything about this story other than 8 people died. So he said something in a post that was like, some of these concerts are like rituals, satanic rituals, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, that sounds like a bit much. Like, some people died. Obviously, like, you know, these mainstream people, typically they do have, like, symbolism and stuff that's, you know, whatever. Doesn't necessarily mean that they put it there for a reason. And I was just like, you know, I'm just talking about, like, you know, the 8 people dying. I don't really know anything about the symbolism. And then I started looking into the symbolism today. Like, I even did, we recorded a Road Rage bonus episode on the way home from Des Moines today. On the way here, we did, like, a Q&A thing, and somebody asked what I thought about the ritual thing for, like, satanic ritual of Travis Scott, and my response was, I don't really know. Like, if I don't know that much about it, I know that it's tragic that 8 people died. I can't really speak to it. We're gonna find out why some people think that there's more to this than just oopsies, 8 people died. But let's get the mainstream coverage first.
More injured when the crowd surged as Travis Scott was on stage. We're learning more about the victims as Scott himself speaks out. Marcus Moore, live in Houston, with more on the investigation. Good morning, Marcus.
Oh, Robin, good morning. You can see that growing memorial just outside the concert venue behind me. The brother of one of the
word of the day,
people who was trampled to death.
What?
It's the word of the day alarm.
Oh, nice. The word of the day. Do you have one?
Let's do Sesame Street. No, I don't like that. I'll think about it after this.
Okay. Don't forget.
Okay.
That you come to concerts to have a good time, not to die. This morning.
That's a good.
That's a good quote. When I go out to concerts, typically my plan is for a good time. The alternative, though, is death. Who knew?
Grieving families are asking what went wrong here and who's accountable. This morning, multiple lawsuits against Travis Scott, Live Nation, and even rap superstar Drake filed after the Astroworld Music Festival in Houston turned deadly.
I reported that people were getting stepped on.
Officials launching a criminal investigation into the chaotic concert that left at least 8 people dead and many others hurt. 50,000 fans gathering to see rapper Travis
50,000.
Scott.
That's a lot of shit. What happened to COVID, by the way?
I think they're in Texas, so it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Even if they believe in COVID, once they're in Texas, even though he's probably one of these people that are chastising Texas for not having stricter lockdowns and regulations, and then he goes and throws a festival there because of how convenient it is. I don't know for sure. I don't follow the guy because I didn't even know who he was until
also
a bunch
way
of
out
people
of topic.
started dying at his show.
Way out of topic, but kind of the same. Whatever happened to Alec Baldwin? We can continue now.
Good question.
Don't you love it?
I mean, who cares?
Right.
It's just one director of a movie in Hollywood. Nothing to see here, folks.
Perfect.
Yep. Well, wrong button. Okay.
Founder performed. As he took to the stage around 9:15 p.m., the crowd, as seen in this Apple Music live stream,
Damn, that's a lot of
pushing their
people.
way forward, forcing people into the barricades.
Our barricade even started to break, and the security had to come over to us and like start strapping the rails.
People unable to move, some collapsing to the ground. 19-year-old Quentin Savage was trampled on while trying to pull his brother out of a human body pile.
I was telling people like there are dead bodies over there, and nobody believed me.
Crowd chanting, "Stop the show." Scott still performing throughout the chaos. In this video, a seemingly unconscious man is carried through the crowd as Travis Scott looks on nearby. At one point, Scott even seemingly acknowledging an ambulance on the scene.
It's an ambulance in the whoa.
He noticed some people were like passed out.
That's the only clip I've found so far where he actually acknowledges that there's ambulances there trying to get to people through this crowd. Like, if you see ambulances there, wouldn't you go, hey, everybody okay?
Right,
We
yeah.
good? Like, let's hold up. Everybody back up. Everybody give some space.
I did see a video. It's not out there very like viral, but I did see one that he was actually talking to the crowd saying, hey, you got to back up some guy. He needs some space. And that's all I saw, but that video's like gone now. I don't know. That's why I'm so confused on what's going on.
I don't know. I haven't seen that. Maybe it'll come up in these.
He resumed. Fans are hurt, pleading for help.
That's what you want people doing at your show. Help me. Yeah, can you imagine, of all things to die to, Travis Scott.
Suck.
Bad auto-tune, no talent Travis Scott.
Damn, dude, that sucks.
Who was probably groomed to be the megastar that he is. They're like, oh, he looks cool. I mean, anybody can do what Travis Scott does. It's just auto-tune mumbling.
Travis Scott have a burger, too, from McDonald's? You know how they do the artists?
I don't know.
I think he's one of them.
I don't know.
Megan Thee Stallion has one. I think Travis Scott was the other. Anyway.
Megan Thee Stallion burger.
She has one for Popeyes.
Sounds greasy for some reason.
It's so silly if you watch the commercial.
Wait, is it fried chicken?
No, it's a sauce of hers.
Okay.
It's called
so
like
it's not
spicy
obviously
sauce or
racist.
something. What is it?
Climbing the
Popeyes.
stage platform, pleading with the camera crew to stop the show and help. A security guard.
Yeah, people climbing up onto the stage. Because here's the thing that they seem to be leaving out is that Travis Scott was saying, don't like. If you see somebody in a green shirt, like the security guards, you push your way by them. Don't worry about them. He was telling the security guys, you leave these people alone. Get up here. Get on the stage. Push the stage, whatever. And he kept screaming over and over again, we want rage. We want rage.
Okay.
So creating a bit of a hostile environment, I'd say, but nothing too well, no, I was going to say nothing too condemning yet. No, that is extremely condemning.
Yeah.
Telling people, hey, disregard the rules and barriers that are there for your safety. Don't pay attention to the people that are there to protect you. You need to form a riot and a mob. And this isn't even the first time that this has happened with him.
Was he the headliner too?
Yeah, I think it's his festival. Because it's his head for the thing, for the entrance. We'll talk about that. But yeah, there was, I think it was at Lollapalooza or whatever. He had an incident like this where he got criminal charges as well because he kept telling people to like jump off of balconies and shit. Like, this dude is is crazy.
Yes.
Consciousness after being pricked in the neck by a substance requiring Narcan to be revived. By
Let's go back. That's interesting and very odd.
consciousness after pleading with the camera crew to stop the show and help. A security guard lost consciousness after being pricked in the neck by a substance requiring Narcan to be revived.
What?
Right? How come that's not the first thing we're talking about? So he was telling people to stop security guards, and somebody injected a security guard with something that made him collapse.
Holy hell, that's crazy.
The hell is this?
By 9:38 p.m., police declaring the scene a mass casualty incident. Shortly after, Scott pausing his song Skeletons to acknowledge someone in distress.
We need somebody to help him. Somebody
Yeah.
right here.
That's
Okay.
it.
And then continuing. Hey, we need some help. All right, next song.
Police and medics seen tending to fans even as the show carries on for nearly 40 more minutes.
Jeez, 40 minutes.
It's basically the rest of the set.
So he's acknowledged, hey, we've got ambulances here. People are trying to help these people. We're just going to keep going. Also, keep pushing in. That'll help. Like, he doesn't say, like, hey, everybody, look around you. Make sure nobody's dead. Like, how hard would it be to be like, hey, guys, this is a place for me. If it's a place to have fun and just make music and have fun together, like, how is that not the first thing you say? Make sure everybody's fine. But no, we want rage. We want rage. And he's going to be getting some rage.
Chaos Drake joined Scott on stage. He posted these images from the night on his Instagram.
I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this.
Skip this. I've got his apology that we're going to get to later. We're going to jump ahead.
Experience.
Kylie Jenner, who he shares daughter Stormy with, commenting, quote, I want to make it clear we weren't aware of any fatalities until the news came out after the show, and in no world would have continued filming or performing.
So, fatalities. They weren't aware of any fatalities. But what if somebody's collapsed and you're not sure? It's 50,000 people. You might not be aware of one out of 50,000 people dying. And I don't care if it's 1 or 8 people. If somebody dies at your show, maybe pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
And as soon as ambulances show up and you see them struggling, like, I guess in some of her tweets, Kylie Jenner's tweets, or Instagram shots or something, like she took video and she's like dancing and shit. And it's while this stuff is going on. She's like, yeah, we were totally unaware. It's like, well, you can see ambulances in the shot you took. So I think you were a little bit aware.
We will always celebrate you. You're in heaven, mijo.
Memorials honoring the victims with flowers and grieving notes.
He was talking to everyone how excited he was to be there and to go, and he was saving up money to go with his best friend Jacob, who also passed away.
Among those who died, Danish Beg, 27, 16-year-old Brianna Rodriguez, Axel Acosta and Franco Patino, both 21, and 23-year-old Rudy Pena, along with Jacob Jurinic. And 23-year-old Arturo Sanchez was also in that crush of people, suffering a heart attack during the melee.
Heart attack?
Yeah.
He's like...
Jason Drake says, new Travis Scott meal, pancakes and cracked McRibs. It's pretty good.
That's a good
it's
one.
Pretty
I like
good. Yeah, somebody suffered a heart attack there, too.
So how could a young person like it just have a heart attack? Unless he's
people couldn't breathe.
Oh, okay.
Like, they were so compact together. And he's telling them, keep compacting in more, and people literally didn't have enough room to expand their chest cavity to take a breath.
Now, another thing, they said that the security guard...
Okay. You better come up with that freaking passcode, because we both forgot.
Yes. The security guard got injected by something. Now, is there someone in the crowd going and injecting...
Cracked McRibs.
Everybody?
Cracked McRibs is the passcode. So if you've made it this far into the episode... go let us know that you made it here with cracked McRibs.
McRibs.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
Was there people in the crowd injecting other people? Like, is that how they were dying?
Well, at least one security guard, but I have no idea.
Is there going to be autopsy reports released on these guys or not? Probably, right?
I don't know.
Too young. All of them are way young.
Yeah.
Under 18, right?
It seems like most of the people in the crowd were like, young.
Weird.
Young people. So, and this is still early, but there's so much stuff on this. We're not even going to be able to cover it all here, but we're gonna keep going. Don't you worry. So, here we go. This is the guy who suffered a heart attack. This is the first time he's meeting the nurse that saved his fucking life at a concert.
Saved his life.
Oh, I'm so happy.
We were there as the once strangers reunited for the first time since the tragedy.
How many people did you try to help?
I helped 3 others.
but it's kind of like a prioritization thing. You have to move on to the ones who can survive. And this is it. These are the people who survive.
Is she saying the other ones died that she tried to help?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
The Houston mayor is vowing a thorough investigation into what happened at this event. A concert goer who suffered broken ribs and multiple broken bones filed a $1 million lawsuit Sunday against Travis Scott, Live Nation, and show organizers, referencing chaos at other Travis Scott concerts.
It's happened before, history has repeated itself, and we hope that by filing this lawsuit and the many other lawsuits that are guaranteed to follow, that Travis Scott and other artists like him understand concert goers want to be safe.
We
Not
heard from
dead.
so many people who were at this concert event, and they were talking about the crush of people and how they literally were fighting for their lives to get out of that crowd. Robin, they said that this simply should not have happened.
Duh. Yeah. People shouldn't die at concerts.
Nope.
Unless that's the goal.
I mean, how many people have died out of all the concerts you've been? Has there been at least one person that's ever died?
That I've been to?
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of shows and
yeah.
0.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was 0. Yeah.
You've even been to festivals and stuff.
I've been to lots of festivals, even, well, maybe comparable to this, maybe not bigger. But yeah, very large festivals, very large crowds. I've been smashed in. Did you go when we went to see The Used and we were like smashed up against the rails there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was pretty compact.
That sucked.
And I could still breathe. And I was like, this is awful. We got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I remember that. That's a long time ago. But yeah,
Now imagine that times, I don't know.
50,000?
50, yeah. Yeah, let's watch a little bit more here of this other one. This is NBC News, so you know it's legit. I just wanted to get like some of the mainstream outlets and get their takes on it, see if they're even addressing the fact that this guy was like literally inciting a riot, telling them disregard the rules and kill each other, basically.
Now, investigators are hoping that video from that music festival tragedy helps them piece together exactly what went wrong. MSNBC anchor Lindsay Reiser joins us now with a minute-by-minute breakdown. Lindsay, help us understand what happened here. Walk us through some of these videos we're seeing.
Yeah, it really is incredible. And right now we know that while a ton of evidence needs to be gathered, while facts need to be pieced together, including how many people were in the venue at the time, these videos really are giving us the closest glimpse we have yet into what happened.
From the moment the doors to Astroworld opened, there was chaos at NRG Park. At 2 p.m., a stampede of concertgoers exploded through security gates.
Wow.
Dozens being
Look at this.
trampled in the park. At 2 p.m.
These are like metal detectors and security gates. They're just sprinting through it. This thing started out psycho. Like,
I saw a video of people running. I didn't know it was this, though.
That's what it looks like.
What? A stampede of concertgoers exploded through
Fuck
security
that.
gates.
Anybody can have a gun on.
Dozens
Wow.
trampled in the process. As the clock ticked down to Travis Scott's arrival, tens of thousands of fans crammed into the venue to see the rap star perform.
Where your feet were placed is where your feet stayed the whole night.
Concertgoers told NBC News that around 8:30 p.m. the crowd began to compress and push, making moving, even breathing, difficult.
5, 4, 3, 2. As soon as that countdown went to 0, it was just my rib cage was so squished that I couldn't expand my chest, expand my lungs to catch a breath.
Just after 9 p.m., Travis Scott took the stage, and the atmosphere in the venue ignited.
Got a little creepy.
An already feverish mob of fans. According to a
Big old pyramid, all-seeing eye stuff, flames.
analysis by NBC News, by 9:12 p.m., people in the crowd could be heard screaming for help.
Jeez. And for those that aren't familiar with like the conspiracy stuff, like all this symbolism, it doesn't necessarily prove that it's like a conspiracy ritual or something, but that's the what some people are saying, because this is like really, really dark and really bad. And yeah. So there are some people that believe that that there's these satanic rituals and stuff, and these things are to convince children to get into these dark arts of bad music or whatever, and then they hold these rituals, sacrifices basically, and that this wasn't entirely an accident. Now, I say that here because I want, while you're watching this stuff, just keep that in the back of your mind, because I didn't believe it at all at first. It wasn't even like tripping any alarm bells for me, but
police say they first received reports of people falling injured around 9:30 p.m. It was around that exact time when Travis Scott briefly paused the show after noticing an ambulance. Moments later, he asked fans to put a middle finger up to the sky if they were okay.
Everybody go put a middle finger up.
So, I mean, that could certainly be seen as flipping off God. I don't know. Here we go.
Seconds after, a video was taken of 18-year-old Aiden Cruz trying to notify a camera operator of the dangers taking place in the pit.
Kid's a freaking
20-year-old Cynthia Lira found herself at the bottom of a pile of people and felt she wasn't going to make it out alive.
Can you imagine?
Crazy.
Being buried under people and you're barely breathing alive, being trampled on by people who are listening to Travis Scott.
It's pretty sucky.
I don't know. I can think of way, way better artists that I'd rather die to than Travis Scott.
First, I was like, help, help, I can't get up. And then when people started coming on top of me, I was just like, I can't breathe. I kept screaming, like, help, help, like I'm going to die in here.
At one point, Lyra says she found herself holding the hand of another stranger trapped in the pile, both silently accepting
like a freaking war scene.
Fate.
Like, we're going to die here, and holding the hand of somebody next to you at a freaking music festival. It's crazy. We're going to get to some more of these because we got to get going here.
The friends we spoke to tonight say within Travis Scott's first song that he performed, they realized they needed to get out. They needed to leave the Astroworld Festival. They say for as many people as wanted to get out of this packed, tight crowd, even more wanted to push their way to the front of the stage and get as close as they possibly could.
Does that sound like brainwashing to you? Like trampling humans to get a little closer to a guy that you're not going to touch?
I mean, that's another weird thing. I get you want to be up front and try to see him, but the closer you get to the stage, the worse the sound sounds, to be honest.
The worse the sound sounds, and the less likely you're going to live at a Travis Scott show, turns out.
Evening, they recalled for us the vivid looks of terror on so many faces. The friends tell us they consider themselves survivors.
They ruined that.
We need to make a meme that says, like, the Facebook meme, marked safe from Travis Scott performance.
Yes.
Fest or Astroworld Fest. The first time it was something like, I mean, you go and you just have nothing but fun time.
I guess that's what it used to look like. It's come a long way. It's come a long way.
It would have tried to be at least 2 or 3 years old because COVID happened.
Well, yeah, it's like, I guess the festival's only like 5 years old. So.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Stories to tell. And, I mean, this time you, like, barely make it out alive.
In the photo, 19-year-old KanYE Reedus and 20-year-old Zachary Scott took prior to Astroworld yesterday. They're smiling. Today.
Yes. Yep, they are.
They're smiling.
That's news. You see how they were not unhappy that they were going to see an artist that they like? Yeah.
Friends were very subdued.
And they show a picture after. It's like just sad with like bruises all over their face. Or just dead. Here's them after. It's just like a body bag.
This time
terrible, but it was can't help to laugh.
It was just
Yeah.
like a
It's fucking funny.
The way they described the scene at Energy Park Friday night is enough to rattle someone who wasn't even there. Unable to breathe, piles of people on the ground, some clawing on their clothes as a lifeline, trying to get up so they weren't trampled, pressed so close to strangers that you couldn't lift your arms or turn your head. They were trapped and helpless.
Yeah, we saw this.
The friends say things escalated when Travis Scott took the stage and people pushed their way to the front. Both Reedus and Scott were rescued by strangers. They tried to get help.
Wait, were her pants like that before she was attacked? They stripped her of her clothes. Wait, this is the before shot.
Who were passed out being stepped on, but the show continued. Scott lost a lot of respect for the musician who he was a big fan of prior to last night.
And, you know, people are blaming it on, like, they're saying, oh, well, like, these people are all on drugs. Like, I was stone cold sober the whole time, and I could not get out of there.
Even after seeing the images.
Because the event was the drug.
Yeah.
And apparently, there was, like, there's all this demonic imagery and stuff, and we'll get into, like, the mouth entrance and all these symbolisms and things, but there was apparently, like, vibration, like music, but it's like droney music that is like weird frequencies and stuff. Like, it's almost like he was trying to drive people insane. They're like packed in like sardines to this place where they can't breathe. They're hot as hell and they can't move, and they're walking into this creepy place with like all this hypnotic stuff going on, and the music is one of the creepiest things to me.
The concert. If you weren't there, Scott and Rita say it's tough to fully comprehend the vulnerable situation that thousands of people found themselves in.
That's not how a concert should be. Like, you shouldn't have to be like, oh, okay, I have to fight like either life or death to get out of this. And you might see a few dead bodies, but that's just a part of the experience.
At NRG Park, Micah Hatfield, ABC 13.
All right, so there's that. Those are the mainstream plugs and everything. Now we've got like the U.S. Sun here that is commenting on some of the conspiracy stuff. They're saying horror show inside Travis Scott's creepy set design with inverted crosses and bizarre satanic blood sacrifice conspiracies run wild. So I'm betting that they don't believe it, but let's look at some of this stuff. That's the entrance to the place, and if we come over, where is it?
You haven't really done much of this yet, so I'm curious.
We come over. I think it's here. No, I'll find it later. Whatever. But this image here, I've got an image of what it's pulling from, but it's like the entrance to hell in some old painting or something where this guy's mouth is like stretched wide open and people are walking into it. It's like a rip off of that.
Okay.
So he's going for you're entering hell. And yeah, so some pointed out similarities between the Astroworld entrance and the Hieronymus Bosch painting Christ in Limbo, which shows the entrance to hell, which of course they don't feel like showing that image here, it seems like. Conspiracy theorists pointed to the inverted cross at the festival entrance as a demonic symbol as well. Okay. So yeah, this here, the stage is basically a cross coming out of this tunnel portal looking thing in a mountain. Some theorists noticed that the number of flames shooting up from the stage was the same as the number of people who died. Interesting.
That is weird.
Interesting. Could be a coincidence. But online conspiracy theorists will have their own ideas about the tragic deaths, which they believe were blood sacrifice carried out by Scott as part of a mass satanic ritual. The theories have picked up new traction in already established conspiratorial communities online like QAnon, because we got to throw that in there to make sure nobody believes that this could possibly be true. I'm not saying it is true, but putting QAnon in your article does not prove that you are correct,
right,
people? So yeah, we've got the 8 flames. This was the festival flyer, which has got like your all-seeing eye stuff on the hands. It's got this was an interesting one. This here is what he is on his shirt. I think there's a picture of that somewhere with these people that are like walking through a portal basically, and they're like, I think they turn red on the other side. So that's that, and it's got the kind of a pyramid with a portal here. Lots of portal pyramids and like all-seeing eye imagery and all this. Let's see. So here's the same thing. Tripped heavy.
Did you use that thing for one of our flyers one time for Horrorfest?
I don't. Oh yeah, I used the dude from Pan's Labyrinth.
That's
yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Tripped heavy in the pit at Travis Scott. He is a demon. This is somebody saying. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I was in the pit tripping absolute nutsack watching Travis Scott and truly believe Travis Scott is a demon sent from hell. I can't describe the evil and darkness that possessed him. I firsthand witnessed his evil spirits passed to many of the fans at the concert. I luckily got out before the darkness consumed me. I highly suggest avoiding his concerts in the future. So, I mean, that's not really evidence of anything other than the guy, it sounds like. So he says he tripped. Does that mean he was tripping acid? Or does that mean he tripped and almost lost his life because of the stampeding mob that Travis Scott was coaxing on? This comes from truthaurfiction.com, so you know it's legit. Travis Scott and Astroworld occult conspiracies follow festival tragedy. So I think this is more of a conspiracy-leaning site, so maybe they'll dig a little deeper. The November 5th, 2021 crowd crush tragedy at Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas prompted extensive discussion on social media, complete with major threads focusing on purported occult overtones surrounding the tragedy. So Let me see. We've got some images here. This is what showed up. Like, this is on the screen behind them while people are dying.
All right.
See you on the other side.
Wow.
And it's like a spy. It's like in the portal screen thing that's behind him, saying "See you on the other side." So there's that. Which that alone, like, if you, I don't know, if you were like trying to solve a murder mystery and somebody said to if you knew that Travis Scott said to a person, "Hey, I'll see you on the other side," and then the person died shortly after,
a little odd.
It's a little strange. That's all.
I don't know his background though. Is he like? Does he portray himself as a demonic?
I mean, he's going for it.
Antichrist type person.
Basically, that's what he's going for with all the imagery. I mean, that's kind of obvious.
Okay,
that's kind of his thing. But here's the mouth to hell, undeniable occult symbolism thing. So this is Astroworld, another one, and here's the picture that it's taken from that people are saying is very similar, with people literally walking into hell. So interesting stuff. Interesting. Somebody said, remember the 5th of November, the satanic ritual of Travis Scott, 8 dead and 300 injured. Concert theme, see you on the other side. So that was the theme of the show. See you on the other side. Good Lord.
Wow.
Occult symbolism throughout. Flyer art stage. Show continues despite pleas to stop. Quote, felt so demonic. And that's the thing. Like, there's one video. I don't think I have it pulled up in any of these, but there's one video where Travis Scott is looking, like, in the video you can see the people, they're huddled around trying to help a person. They're basically taking out a dead body, and he's standing there watching, singing, just droning on, just watching them.
Wow.
It's creepy as shit, dude. Like,
I'm gonna have to look into this more.
Some crazy stuff. And yeah, I don't know why they don't have. Okay, here's some more. Let's see. So here's the image on his shirt where it's the image from the flyer. They're walking through and they're turning into little devils. They're turning into horned red little devils there through the portal, which is, I assume, referencing the portal giant thing behind him.
Conspiracy or not, he at least thought of this production.
Right.
So, I mean, there's something there a little bit.
It's not an accident that the whole thing screams satanic occult ritual.
Right.
Like, you did that. And then people died, and you were telling people, "Hey, disregard the rules, rush the stage," and shit like that. So even if it's not like a satanic ritual or something, like the guys on the show Monday when we were talking about it, they were like, I don't know if this is some satanic thing, but the energy that the guy created says a lot. Like, if you have a mass amount of people in a crowd. Hey, Travis, I'm talking to you.
I know, I'm listening.
If you have a mass amount of people in a crowd and you're putting out positive vibes and like, hey, we're here to chill and hang out and take care of one another, how many people do you think typically die from at like, I don't know, the Beatles? I guess that might be a bad comparison since they had crazy fans too. But I don't know, some positive uplifting band. I'm guessing very few of them have had people die. When you're putting out this kind of imagery, you're putting out this kind of thing, and then you're like using what sounds like he's going for kind of brainwashing music droney stuff to get people unsettled and anxious. Like, at what point is it completely his fault? I don't know. But yeah, see you on the other side was in the portal while people were dying. Right before panic broke out, the portal opened. KanYE posted this as a video. Okay, so these are screen grabs, and I won't be able to play it. But Travis Scott sold his soul to the devil. Astroworld was a blood sacrifice. He took 8 innocent lives to pledge his allegiance to the occult elite. He didn't do it on purpose. That's in quotes. So, yeah. Yeah, people are saying he didn't do it on purpose. So why is he singing as they carry off a dead body then? And does this have a video? Because that might be the video. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Killer music, bro. He's staring at what is happening there. While they're lifting, like, it didn't show anymore, but you can see them lifting a dead body up in his crowd while he's staring straight at them and continuing to sing. Like, I don't know, dude.
That's creepy, man.
If you had to put money on whether this is just a lot of coincidences and a freak accident or satanic death ritual or something like that, like, let's go ultra extreme. If you had to put money on one or the other, which one would you go with?
I'd probably go with the satanic stuff, which just is weird for me because I for this day and world, like I never think of it being a real thing. Like who does this stuff? It's just all made up movie Hollywood crap. But I mean, right here.
Yeah, and
someone is going a little above and beyond.
Right. And I've heard a lot of people saying, well, this is obviously security's fault. Like,
what?
Security couldn't calm down this crowd of 50,000 people. It's like, how many security guards do you think it would take to calm down a crowd of 50,000 people that were just told, don't listen to the security guards and get your ass up here on stage and push in? And I don't know. How many security guards would it take? Probably about 50,000.
I've always thought that was weird going to shows and you always see like 4 security guards right there sitting the stage. I'm like, how is those gonna, just stop everything that could happen bad? But
yeah. And so
what scares me about this whole situation, the bigger picture, how are shows going to be now going future? Like it's going to be a nightmare. I think honestly, any show you go to, or there's going to be so many protocols, there's going to be so many crazy things that change the game, I believe.
I don't know, dude. I mean, we had that shooting at whatever country concert in Vegas.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to hear more on that, got a nice episode with Ole Damagar that breaks it all down. It's one of the earlier episodes of the show, and that's got a lot of weird shit going on with it too. But this type of stuff is something to raise an eyebrow at least. But yeah, people were saying that the security guards were responsible, which obviously that's not true. And even if it is true, what I heard is they interviewed one of the security guards, and he said that he had never done an event like this ever. Like this is the first time, and they put him right up front in front of 50,000 people, and just like, there you go, figure it out. Wow. Like they barely did an interview process. It was just like, do you want the job? You got the job. All right, get out there and good luck. But
have fun.
Yeah, on the topic of the security guards, here is one of the other security guards that no, this is an EMT worker at the show here. So here's this guy.
That worked the Astroworld event. Quick disclaimer, I'm going to give absolutely no names, no company names, nothing like that, nothing to disclose or put anyone in jeopardy. Me and my partner, let's just say Medic 1, me and Medic 1 were stationed at the entrance of Astroworld. About 30 minutes into Travis Scott's set, they called us saying, hey, we need backup by the stage. So me and Medic 1 arrive at the front of the crowd to Medic 2, Medic 3. They're like, hey, I have people, come with me. And so we walk through the VIP section down the middle of the crowd. As soon as we get past the VIP section, really shoulder to shoulder in the thick of the crowd, there was a couple people that kind of grabbed onto my shoulder and was like, hey, there's a girl passed out over here. So me and Medic 1 separate from Medic 2 and 3. They go on their call. We go on this new one. This girl's laying down, and me and Medic 1 are asked, what's going on? And one of the people says that, oh, she's been down for 10 minutes. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm thinking, damn it, how has no one done anything? Just let her lie on the ground for 10 minutes. So I get down there, check her pulse and breathing, do my whole ABCs check, and she has no pulse, no breathing, which means she could have not been breathing with no pulse the whole 10 minutes. She's been sitting there for 10 minutes, probably no pulse, no breathing, no oxygen to her brain.
Dead.
I can't just
you
throw
can say
her
dead.
over my back and escort her out of the crowd because it was a 5-minute hike into this damn crowd. So I tell Medic 1, hey, I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to grab a crash bag. So I get out of the crowd and I grab my one crash bag, which was a huge mistake. I had no clue what I was getting into. So on my hike back into the crowd with my crash bag, at the halfway point, right here, I find another medic performing CPR. I get down, I'm like, hey dude, where's your partner? What's going on? And he's like, I don't know, man. I just saw this person who was no pulse, no breathing. I just started CPR. I don't know how I'm gonna get him out. In EMS, you have to complete your first call before you can assist on any other ones. And so I was like, okay, look, I'll come back for you too. I need to go to my original guy. So I head out. And then in the middle point between the midpoint and my end point right here, I find a third person performing
stumbling over dead bodies, basically.
And I get there, I'm like, hey, what's happening? Where's your partner? And they're like, they're taking care of another unconscious person. I need to do one-man CPR. Jeez. I don't know how I'm getting this person out of here.
Right.
So here I am presented with 3 different EMS personnel providing one-man CPR on 3 different patients, completely isolated from each other, no backboard, no way of getting out. And I'm just like, God damn it. because of the heat of the moment,
Okay.
whatever.
Oh, this is on TikTok, so I guess it's chopped up into smaller bits.
Right. My thought process was, okay, I'm not getting these first two people out until I get my original person out, because that's the first person I ran into. So I gave person number 2, or CPR person number 2, right here, I gave him the crash bag. And I was thinking, you know what, person number 1 that I originally went to, probably already done a couple cycles of CPR, and I'm just gonna throw her on my back and get her the hell out of here. And to give y'all context, the radio wasn't working, the music was way too loud. I had called for backup and for help so many times, and it was just not going through. I tossed person number 2 the crash bag, and I get to person number 1 who was originally there, and thank goodness like 5 cops were there. And they had brought a backboard with them, which thank God. They loaded her up onto the backboard and we get her out of there. She's on her way with like 4 or 5 cops. My original partner, medic 1's making sure she's okay. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta take care of these other 2. I get to CPR number 2, who I dropped the crash bag off with. And the medic's still there, but a cop arrived with another backboard. So after they finished their round of CPR,
this is pretty
I
long.
told those medical personnel, look, I'm gonna go in and find these people, do one-man CPR, do whatever needs to be done to make sure, provide the best amount of care possible and get them the hell out of here. This was just the higher acuity patients. Me and Medic 1, my partner, probably dealt with 5 or 6 other lower acuity. And when I mean lower acuity, I mean not instantly dying, right? I'm talking about broken feet, AMS, people who...
Anyway, he talks about, like, as he's passing these people, they're, like, begging him for help. Like, help, please get me out of here. And, yeah, there's, like, broken bones and limbs and things like that.
It's crazy.
And Travis Scott, well, he also goes on to say that people are ridiculing the EMT workers, like the medical people. They're like, oh, you guys should have done more. It's like, what can you do when that is happening, when somebody is pushing a mob to harm people? So he talks about how, like, these were like the top EMTs, like these were really certified EMTs. The security guards certainly were not, but either way, it's neither of their faults that this happened. It's clearly Travis Scott's fault, and this being Travis Scott's, festival and all that, and his performance, and he's ignoring all this stuff. What do you think he did after the show? Do you think he went and definitely went to talk to somebody to make sure that everybody's okay?
I heard that he went to an after party.
Dave and Buster's. He went to Dave and Buster's. That's a video game place, right?
Yeah, I think so. Ice cream, video, chill. That's kind of even more weird, actually.
It's a little strange.
Yeah.
Yep. Him and Drake. They're just like, we're gonna peace out, guys. Let us know. Get everything cleaned up. We'll be at Dave and Buster's. Yeah, like he acknowledged that there was a problem, but he didn't feel the need to ask anybody after his festival, hey, is anybody hurt or dead or anything like that?
After watching people like getting carried out,
yeah,
you think you'd ask a little bit. Drake is a more well-known artist. Like, why is he not more in this media? Like, why is no one people attacking him?
I don't know. I guess weird.
Very weird.
I don't know. I mean, I think he came on for just like a song or two and then left. So he wasn't there for all of it, but he came on.
But he still performed while it was still happening.
Yeah, I feel like
he could have been like, whoa, what's going on
right
out there?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I feel like with the mass chaos that we've heard here, like, even if you don't know that somebody's dead, you can see all this happening. And I guess there was an ambulance that came in, and some of the people climbed up on the ambulance and were like dancing and shit. Like, the culture here that he has created is just one of complete and utter depravity. And whether you think that's so some people are.
That's his. Look at his picture of Spotify's top one.
What am I looking at?
That's a picture of him. I'm green, like demon looking.
Neat.
Like what the?
Yeah, I don't know.
This guy is.
Yeah, and so, I mean, people are right to push back and call this like satanic panic. I mean, do you know the term satanic panic?
No.
That was like back in, I don't know, the 80s or 90s or whatever, when they were like, oh, rock and roll is evil, it's satanic, and then they could just slap satanic on everything and it would be bad.
Twisted Sister days.
Yeah, or like KISS or whatever. Kings in Satan's service is what they said that it stood for and stuff like that. So I can understand why people would say that, and I'm really careful to jump into, this is obviously a ritual or something. But this one really raises some freaking eyebrows with all the stuff, all the symbolism all together, and just the lack of give a shit from a guy who just stood on stage for 40 minutes watching people die around him.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, man.
It is.
Creepy.
So let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that this isn't some satanic thing or whatever. Well, actually, before we do that, so you can say that it's not satanic, like it's not a spiritual thing, but modern day Satanism has nothing to do with Satan. It's more just about worshiping, glorifying self, and putting yourself first. It's basically saying, I am as good as any god, and I should do everything in my power to preserve myself or whatever. It's basically just ego and self-centeredness is what modern day Satanism is. So even if you go that route and say, well, Satanism isn't about God or the devil or anything like that, what were these people doing? Were they looking out for people around them?
No.
Or were they self-centeredly trying to get close to an idiot on stage that was telling everybody to mob?
Yeah, it's
pretty satanic, even from modern day standards. But yeah, the satanic panic thing was going around, and so I tried to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, even if this has nothing to do with any spirituality or anything like that whatsoever, just an accident.
I'm still so shocked by it. I don't know who this guy is really. Like,
right.
And how did he get so many people there? Like, what?
I don't know, but we are old, so
yeah.
Let's go benefit of the doubt here, devil's advocate, and say, he didn't mean any of this. He didn't even realize all this stuff was, all the symbolism. He just thought it looked cool. He wanted to go edgy. He was completely unaware that anybody was even really injured severely or anything like that. Let's give him full benefit of the doubt. He still said, if you see somebody in a green shirt, push them out of the way and get up here on the stage and rush the crowd. It's like, if you just took that, his order to defy the rules, and people died from that, he's responsible for that. Even if it wasn't his festival, like, he should still be responsible for that.
Crazy, man.
So what do you think should happen here?
As an end result?
Yeah, like
to what should happen to him, or just
to him, or who do you think's responsible, who's not responsible, who needs to see punishment, and what kind of punishment?
If he was a host of the show, I would definitely hold him responsible and accountable for what's going on. Even if it's out of his hands, he could still literally shut down the show by just being like, hey, everyone stop.
All he's got to do is stop singing.
Yeah, or acknowledge what's going on.
Didn't have to do anything. He could do less than he was already doing and have that outcome that would have saved lives, most likely. But no, just keep going.
Maybe he was effed up and on drugs and just out of it as well and just doing his thing like he does every
Now let's not make assumptions, Travis. He seems like a really upstanding fellow.
Just saying, I'll play that card as well, just in case there's people out there that actually think this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was completely delusional and not knowing what's going on, maybe there's a chance, but still, it went on for so long. You would have to see a chaos.
And he acknowledged it at one point.
Yeah,
that almost makes it worse because he acknowledged it and then he kept going for 40 minutes while you watch people die.
What is his apology? His apology? I haven't heard anything.
Shit! I did have the apology. We do have to address that a bit. Did I close it? I may have closed it.
I haven't heard anything from him.
It was pretty. I'll just say it was pretty fucking weak. What's his name? Travis Scott. Apology. Okay.
Great Scotch.
So here's the now this just happened a couple days ago, and he knows that under his watch at his festival with the security guards that he hired and the instructions that he gave, he had this outcome of 10 people dead and 300 injured, and this is his very deep, very heartfelt apology. Let me know if you're convinced. All right.
I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this just happening.
I could never imagine people breaking the rules when I yell at them to do so. Oh.
Send out prayers to the ones that was lost.
He's not a good actor.
Night. We're actually working right now to identify the families.
What's him rubbing his head about?
Oh, God. I
gotta act like I really care, but you don't.
Oh man. Can
help assist him through this tough time. My fans
Stop
really
rubbing
mean
your
the world
face.
to me, and I always just really want to leave them.
The fans that I have left.
Why is it in black
mean
and
the world
white
to me.
too? What the hell? Who films things in black and white?
I don't know.
Positive experience. And anytime I can make out
Probably because his eyes are bloodshot red. It's fucked up. I mean, that's the only time when I take a blanket.
Just so you guys know, if you ever see Travis with that noir filter on Instagram, he's high AF.
I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. We've been working closely.
Stop.
Dude, he's like not all there.
He's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, he's
still hungover from 3 days ago, probably. Dave and Buster's. That's where he really got lit.
HPD, fire department, everyone help us figure this out. So if you have any information, please just contact your local authorities. Everybody continue to...
If you hear somebody inciting a riot, what are we calling the authorities about now? They're dead, or they're trying to get away from this shit. Yes. If you guys see something, say something. Hey, Travis Scott, stop inciting a riot.
Pretty sure everyone said help me. A lot of people screaming it at you.
If you see Travis Scott, run the other direction.
Keep your prayers. I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this just happening.
We got that.
I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated.
It's very awkward.
You guys informed on what's going on.
Good God.
Love you all.
Hit the stop button, man.
I think
Let it go.
Part of that apology would be more like, damn, my career is gonna end quick. I'm fucked.
Or I don't know, like
I don't know either.
It barely sounded like an apology. It sounded more like a this isn't great, guys.
Right.
I don't really like that this happened. Oopsie.
Right.
Oops.
Shit happens, I guess.
Yep. Who could have possibly predicted this one?
By the way,
again.
I have a show next week. Tickets are on sale.
He throws a plug in there. Grab my merch, of course. I've been on merch store at hailsatan.com. Nothing to see here. WeWantRage.com.
Damn.
We want rage. Let's read a couple comments, then we'll get the hell out of here. I doubt we're doing a bonus today, actually, an after party.
Yeah.
We won't get into Travis's diversity or whatever we were going to talk about.
for the next time.
Because, we're pushing what are we at? Over 2 hours, and I'm going to be doing a Dave Chappelle recap here at some point. But we'll go through a couple comments, then we'll peace. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you had to put money on, is this something crazy, creepy, spiritual, intentional-ish, or is this just a whole hell of a lot of coincidences? Dancing K says, look at Jimmy Fallon's show. Travis Scott wanted to be Broadway musical singer. Look up Drake. He was on Degrassi.
Yep.
Degrassi High. Actors keep ignoring truth comes out. It's all on internet anyways. I don't know what. So these people did other things before this? Okay. Yeah, he wanted to be on Broadway, but that's not how he got his musical career, obviously.
Yeah,
so
no.
I don't know. I don't know the point you're trying to make. No disrespect. I just don't know what you're trying to say.
Is he sing then? Like, is there a video of him actually singing?
Without auto-tune?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a fan, and I doubt I'll start becoming one. But
we get more supporters now.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I love this shit. This is great.
Well, sadly enough, there's some people in the world that probably are like that now. Like, oh, this is badass. This guy's powerful.
There's some people that are obsessed with Charles Manson and murderers and stuff like that. So yeah, there's definitely some people out there. And Travis's camera's gonna die any minute now, so it seems like a good time. Dancing K also says, remember 500 injured at Harvest Las Fakest Festival. Yeah, which one was that? I don't know. Oh, I'm guessing that was the shooting thing. Yeah. Zombie Cake says, someone said he covers his eye 8 times. That's an interesting point. That is another wink and a nod at the all-seeing eye conspiracy stuff that we've dug into in the past more than we are now, but we're getting back into it. We'll see if YouTube allows it. Shannon says, it's okay. Yes, crazy, spooky, terrible. Matthew Butt says, shit, you're still alive. I done finished a job since I hopped off. Yes, we are still alive, Mr. Butts. Thank you for tuning in with a name like that. I know you're legit and you're really good at your job. I'm just kidding. Butts is awesome.
Damn.
I know him.
Oh.
But, yeah, Travis, You got any final thoughts? You got anything on this? You got any?
I'm gonna look into the conspiracy stuff with this Travis. I'm actually intrigued by some things. This is weird how a lot of that is, but I haven't had a chance to actually do anything yet.
Do some digging. And like I said on Josh Smith's show yesterday, somebody asked like what my favorite conspiracy theory to dig into was, and I'm like, you don't have to. Like, I love digging back into the old classics, like I probably shouldn't even say them on here. JFK and moon landing and stuff like that. I like that stuff. That's fun, and I think some of it trickles into a lot of these areas, especially if you go the spiritual route. However, or the CIA route, or the operatives and all those things. Some of it plays into it, but you don't really have to do much digging anymore to find conspiracy stuff. All you got to do is turn on CNN. If it's not talking about this and being, it's kind of interesting, isn't it, that we watched 3 mainstream news outlets and none of them mentioned that he kept yelling, what was it? We want rage?
Yeah.
And telling people to get out of the way or to push, like, the way that they just gloss over this makes it even more shady, in my opinion. So just turn on the news. Watch the news for a bit. It's all conspiracy. Even if this has nothing to do with spirituality, they're not telling you everything, and that is a conspiracy
And
to
again,
some degree.
Could be another one of those things that's being, to divide your attention to something else that's going on in the world, like always.
I don't know, dude. This one's, it's pretty distracting because at a creepy-ass show, a bunch of people died while a singer sang at them poorly. It's...
or did he even sing? Probably lip sync the whole freaking time.
I don't know. Well, he does a sound. I saw a video at one point of him doing a sound check, and it's got the auto-tune on it, and it's just really bad. He's like, check.
Johnny.
Yes.
Stupid shit like that. Yeah, I get it.
Anyway, Travis, this is your job for the next week. Dig into the Travis Scott thing. Report back to me next Wednesday or in 3 months when you come back on the show. But let me know what you find, because, Yeah.
Will do.
You got to do something around here.
I will try my best.
All right. Cool. Travis, any final thoughts, and tell people where they can find you and all that fun shit?
Good show as usual. Had a good time. Thanks for having me on.
Mm-hmm.
If you want more about me, please hit me up at charmediagroup.com or facebook.com/charmediagroupqc.
Cool. And to all of you, thank you for being here for the live stream. I'm sorry it went on much longer than Ryan Butts would have us go. Or Matthew Butts. Sorry. His middle name. Never mind. Whatever. Mr. Butts, sorry that we're taking so long. I hope y'all, the rest of you, enjoyed it, because I know a lot of you stuck around for this. And thank you. We appreciate it. You know what the passcode is. If you missed it, go back and find it, because I don't remember what it is. But thank you for being here, and go. Yeah, Cracked McRibs, I think. Let us know the password. Let us know that you made it to the end. And, we'll talk to you next time. And go join the Downers Club. Get all the after parties and all that stuff. And you'll find yourself pleasantly surprised. It's only $5 a month, guys. It's only the cost of 1 super chat per month. And you get hours and hours of bonus content weekly. So check that out at patreon.com/The System Is Down. Follow me on Twitter at TSIDpod. And find links to everything and all these episodes at thesystemsdown.tv.
Cost of McRib.
What?
Say it's actually a cost of a McRib, ironically enough, too.
What is?
$5. It's about in that range.
Thought you were going to say $8.
It's McRib season, ironically enough, too.
Now, the real conspiracy is McRibs are $8. We're going to say that for the sake of this. McRibs are $8.
$8.
8 people died. There were 8 flames.
Oh, shit. What's the date? Oh, the day's the 10th.
What day was this event? Do you know?
The 6th, I think.
The 6th. Oh, it was the 5th, wasn't it? Because the remember the 5th November thing somebody said. So I would imagine it was on the 5th, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Whatever. We're gonna get out of here.
Last Friday.
We're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys. Thank you, Travis. Thank you all you lovely people. We'll talk to you next time. Until then, question everything, stay uncomfortable, and we'll see you then. Bye bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. GoulashMedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.